Romaine Bostick. It's a bold strategy, but Spikes thinks it could be the film industry's next big thing.
When you're doing sports are regional. Well, when something like Wicked opens, it opens worldwide. Yeah. So you have no impediment to worldwide growth, so it could grow very fast.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Pros, just because something on the job runs out doesn't mean you have to. Order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Get the fasteners, hardware, or tools you need to keep the job moving. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered right to your job site by 8 p.m. Members get more at Lowe's. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Subject to availability. Restrictions and terms at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. Shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, or the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. In the state of Wisconsin, it is Election Day. And something happened to me on this election day which has never happened to me before. I did a rough estimate, and I have voted in, now again, this is a rough estimate, probably 60 to 70 different elections. I have been voting since I turned 18. In fact, when I turned 18, there was no election that year. There were no specials. That was in March of 1993. The first time I voted was in the midterm election of 1994, and I've voted in every election since. Something happened today that I've read about, I've heard about, I've lamented about, I've sought remedy for when it happens to other people. When it happens to other people, this thing that happens to me for the first time in my voter history, when this thing happens, I might engage conspiracy theories. I might express a range of different emotions. And I always want it rectified as soon as possible. I have been voting at the same location for 20 years. They moved our location from the Catholic church that was on, well, it's still there, 51st and Center. And then due to more than just redistricting, I think it was also the Help America Vote Act, because that Catholic church that those in my ward, and the ward number has changed too a couple of times over the years, it was not accessible for people with mobility issues, so they changed the location due to the Help America Vote Act, where all polling locations had to meet these real minimum requirements and standards for access for those who are differently abled. So since 2006, I'm talking George Bush's presidency here, I have voted at the Sherwin Multicultural Arts School located on 51st and Locust for 20 years. Never had a problem, never had an issue. There's been a couple of times where there's been some long lines, and also over the last 2 decades, they have combined other wards in the Sherwin Multicultural Arts Elementary School. So now it's not just those of us who live in Aldermanic District 10. We are joined by our friends in the 7th Aldermanic District as well. In fact, the 7th Aldermanic District has more voting wards in the Sherwin Multicultural Elementary School than District 10. I live in Ward 159. We're the only District 10 Aldermanic District 10 ward that votes at the school. I vote before work. I always have. If I don't vote early, which I don't do often, the last time I voted early was during the pandemic because it was highly suggested. But I typically vote on election day because I have voted in the same location for so long. I know what not just the turnout is going to be. I can sometimes predict the winner of an election based on the turnout in the ward that I live in. I noticed that when the poll numbers are higher earlier in the morning, that bodes well for the Democratic candidate 99.9% of the time. So when I go vote, it's not just civic duty, it's also a bit of a science experiment, you see. I pull up to the polling location at, 7:07 a.m., give or take, somewhere around there. And I noticed something that was very odd and disappointing. So in every election, somebody's voting for the first time. Somebody's turning 18. Somebody's off paper. They were a felon. Well, they still are a felon, but now they've gotten their voting rights back. They've served all of their sentence. They've paid all of their fines. Right? They are now eligible voters. And there are people who take advantage of that newly granted American privilege. But they may not know all the details of how you vote, where you go and vote, all of the things. So what you will see on display, even before an election, they used to put out these, they look like yard signs. They're like placards, the vote signs. Sometimes they put them out the day before. Sometimes it's the evening before, just to let most folks know that there is an election. And hopefully when the city of Milwaukee puts those signs on, I didn't see any signs for this election. Maybe it's a budget cut. But at least those signs that would put on boulevards and near intersections, it gets folks curious about whatever the election is. So I pull up to my polling location a few minutes after 7. I really wanted to be voter number 1. I always strive to be voter number 1 because it gives me something to complain about, because I never should be voter number 1. I want to be voter number 700 or voter number 200 at 7 o'clock in the morning, because there are locations throughout Wisconsin where you do have 100 or more voters. You have people in line to vote. Never my ward, though. So I always strive to be voter number 1 so I can be mad that I'm voter number 1, and I wonder why people didn't get there before me. So I get to the polling location. There's no signage. There's one particular entryway that we have to use because it is an elementary school and MPS is open. So we enter through like this rear teacher loading dock-ish kind of parking lot area at the Sherwin Multicultural Arts elementary school, and they usually have vote here, metal sign, and then it'll list the wards. And at the Sherman Multicultural Elementary School, it's wards 92, wards 93, and wards 323 for Aldermanic District 7 and Ward 159 for District 10. None of that was on display. I find this odd and disturbing because there are people that are driving up and down 51st Street, which is a very busy thoroughfare in the city of Milwaukee, and as they are driving past that school, they don't see the vote sign. Some people did not know there was an election. The most shocking thing about any election, as much as we talk about it, as much as you may hear ads and see commercials and see digital representations and comments on social media, a large number of people don't know that it is an election day until election day, and some folks don't know it's election day until Wednesday. And so I pull up to the location, and there's no signage out front. There's no vote here sign. There's no ward number signs. And all of these things are typically displayed at every single election. I've been voting at this place for 20 years. I see 3 African-American women. One is crossing the street. 2 are standing at the entryway door. And they're walking back to their vehicles. I'm getting out of my vehicle. One of the women said, the polling location is not open. The poll workers did not have access to the building. Therefore, they were unable to set up, and no one can cast their ballots. For the first time in 33 years of casting ballots, I was turned away from the polls. Now, I'm hopping mad. I'm going to go back and vote. A number of us are not going to. That's what I'm concerned about. Ladies and gentlemen, please understand that in big statewide elections, the winner between the Democratic candidate and the conservative Republican Trump-loving candidate is between 27 and 30,000 votes in a state of 6 million people and about 4 million registered voters. That is a very, very, very small number. And if this anomaly, this irregularity, this mistake, this mishap, this malfeasance happens at a handful of other places throughout the state, you could see a different result in an election. So I gets on the phone. I send messages to my alderwoman, Charlene Moore, because this is where her voters would go to vote for her. I also sent a message to Milwaukee Mayor Xavier Johnson, because this, in my mind, constitutes an emergency for a number of reasons. It has never happened before, at least in the last 2 decades. Every time I've gone to vote at that location in person, it has been easy, it has been smooth, it has been quick, it has been painless. But I was turned away. I sent a text to the alderwoman, I sent a text to the mayor. Both of them were quite alarmed, and I sent an email to DeAndre Jackson. He is the alderman of the 7th District. Now, he's not my alderman, but I wanted to make sure that I had something on record to him, alerting him that 3 wards in his district where his voters would go and vote for him. Now, luckily, DeAndre Jackson and Charlene Moore are not on this ballot, but they're going to be on a ballot in 2028, and they can't risk a polling location not being open because they know as well as I do, if somebody changes their schedule to go and vote, especially early, especially at 7 a.m. when you got to be at work at whatever time you got to be at work, if that polling location is not open, those people are not going to cast ballots. Now, some people will come back and vote later. Here's the thing. I got a real busy afternoon today. I got many things to do now. But I was going to start my day by casting my ballot, so I alerted the alderwoman. And then I alerted the mayor as well. Here's what's crazy. The mayor got back to me faster than the alderwoman did. Now, it was within minutes of each other, but shout out to Xavier Johnson for those of you that think he isn't responsive. Apparently, it was an MPS issue, or at least that is what the alderwoman and the mayor are saying, that there was a couple of other schools in which either teachers and or other poll workers could not get in. This is a problem. Now, MPS, I got issues with MPS as it is. And yes, I did, based on the request of one of the group members of Hughes Views 414, they asked me to reach out to the superintendent of MPS, Brenda Caselius, because she's never been on my show before. So I did reach out to Tony, who does media relations over at the district. I've known Tony for a very long time. Tony is checking the superintendent's schedule to get her on my show because I got questions about the operation of the district and different programs and just et cetera, et cetera. Now I got another question to ask the superintendent because MPS operations is one thing, but that district not being prepared or not being ready on election day, that's another issue. We lost votes today. Now imagine if this was a bigger election. Imagine if it's the election for governor. Imagine if it's the election for president and the district didn't have the schools open so that the poll workers can set up and get voters in at 7 a.m. Now, I have been told that the polling location is open and it will be open until 8 p.m. Well, that's good, but it never should have been closed in the first place. Like, I'm hot. Like, you're going to turn me away? Do you know who I am? I'm Sherwin Hughes, a relatively handsome, slightly overweight, very intelligent and articulate African-American man, but moreover, I am a member of this democracy and I demand the polling locations be open. So those of you that vote at the Sherman Multicultural Arts Elementary School, if you were turned away this morning, I do not know when the polling location opened. I know it was not open at as much as 10 minutes after 7. I don't know how long it was closed. The signage wasn't even outside, which makes me think that, I don't know, maybe the poll workers weren't there yet. I don't know the details of it, but I assure you an investigation is underway. But if you attempted to vote at the Sherman Multicultural Arts Elementary School located at 5110 West Locust, which include wards numbers 92, 93, and 323 in Aldermanic District 7, that is DeAndre Jackson's Aldermanic District, or Ward 159, which is Aldermanic District 10, where Charlene Moore is the alderwoman. The polling location is open now, and if you're at work, legally, your work has to give you some time so you can go and cast your ballot, and now you got a real good excuse to tell your boss or your manager or your supervisor that you need some time off of work because you can go vote, because Sherwin said the polling location is now open. I'm going to take a break, come back, take a telephone call. And if you have questions or comments, we're going to go over the details of today's election, including what you need. The SAVE Act has not been signed into law yet, so proof of citizenship is not yet required. I expect at some point throughout the year 2026, you will have to prove your citizenship in order to cast a ballot, but not yet. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's that time again for the Tory Low Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we come together to clean up the city of Milwaukee. Be part of making a difference in our community. The Tory Low Community Cleanup, Saturday, April 18th, 8 to noon. Sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, Waste Management, and presented by the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District, your clean water partner serving Greater Milwaukee for 100 years.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
(833-212) 1017-833-212-1017. I'm hoping the closed polling it was temporarily closed. It's open now. Let me not freak people out because people hear, oh, it's closed, I ain't got to go vote. Yes, you do. I'm going to give you some information on voter turnout, which to some of you probably will make sense, but I want to present it to you in a way that how other people look at voter turnout and voter performance of particular racial and ethnic groups. Because if you can win an election without having to grapple with the issues that are ethnicity or race specific, then why would you do it? So here's the thing. Let me just explain it to you in a way an American can understand it. You have your job description, right? You know what you're supposed to do because that's what they hired you for. Maybe that's what you went to school for. Maybe that's what your 20 years of resume experience shows. It's a whole bunch of other stuff you could do at that job. You know how to do a whole bunch of other things. And if you did some of those other things that are outside of your job purview, it'll be appreciated, but you're going to get paid the same. I mean, you could go in front of your business that you work at and pick up garbage. You could. You ain't going to get paid anymore. You could decide to bring your own cleaning products from home and clean and scrub the bathrooms and the toilets at the place in which you work. You ain't going to get paid anymore, but it would be a nice thing to do. If you can get your name on a ballot and not have to deal with sometimes the intractable issues of another racial or ethnic minority group and still get reelected, why would you do it? You're going to get reelected just the same. And I'm not saying that elected officials are supposed to take that pathway, the path of least resistance. I'm not saying that. But when you get overwhelmed with issues and you have special interest groups that you have to cater to and you've got funders and fundraisers that you have to deal with, sometimes working with a population that has low or no voter turnout gets put on the back burner. Because even if you do not help assist or address this particular group of people, it's not going to impact your chances of getting reelected. Let's talk to Alan. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I just came back from voting. The same thing happened over here. So while I was calling you, I didn't realize it was widespread. I was giving a shout-out to anybody up here who votes at the Agape Center on 42nd and Flores, right north over there. They moved our stuff over to the forest over here, to the Havenwood. You got to go over there.
Were you alerted?
I didn't have no.
You should have been alerted.
No, we were not. I already got off the phone too. I called the mayor. I called our older person. And they're definitely we were not. That's par for the course up here. But we were not alerted at all. When I walked in, the lady who runs the thing up there knows me, and she says, "Oh, you're here to vote." And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, they moved it." That's what do you mean they moved it? Because I was shocked that there was nobody there. There were no cars. And I'm like, well, there's only one thing really that's going to be contested, right? So maybe it's going to be a low turnout, which it is. I was number 7, which is kind of rare. Usually there's not a whole lot here. But being number 7 at roughly 8:30 in the morning on an election day is kind of low. But, yeah, I share the same concerns you do, obviously. It's too widespread, but I can't see how it would help. I know what you're getting at here, but I can't see how it would help. Conservatives, because it's hurting people. It's hindering the vote for the people who they represent. It's crazy. But there you go. So I stuck on topic today pretty well. How was your Easter?
You're curious as to how polling location changes or polling locations.
With no notice.
Hold on, Alan. I'm going to explain something that you just asked. You're wondering how it would help conservatives if majority Democratic African-American voting wards and voting districts have moved or are not open, because there's going to be a percentage of African-Americans who would vote for the Democratic candidate that are not going to vote.
Of course.
In conservative areas of the state, they don't have that problem. So even if 0.1% of the voters in African-American North Side neighborhoods, now remember, all of our votes are going to go to the Democratic or the Liberal candidate. But if there was confusion or irregularity at some of those locations, Alan, some of those people are not going to cast ballots. It doesn't increase the conservative Republican voter turnout, but it strengthens it based upon...
They're not up here, though. This is a Democratic city. The Democrats are the ones that are doing it.
Alan, there are going to be people that are going to vote for Maria Lazar in every single voting ward. And if African Americans on the north side that would have voted for Chris Taylor have their polling locations changed or they're not open, Chris Taylor is going to lose.
Polling location?
Alan, I try to explain. You still just can't listen.
I understand all that.
I got to hang up on Alan now because he's insane. Dude, I'm just trying to explain something to you. This is the problem with the country. He had a legitimate question. that was very easy to answer, but wouldn't stick around or shut up long enough for me to explain it to him. I just explained it as best I possibly could. I'm going to go vote later. I got to figure out when. Now I got till 8 o'clock. Don't you worry about me. But there are some other people that can't. The only time, and they may have a job where they, even though legally, they should be able to request time off to go vote. Some people ain't going to do that. If you are going to vote at 7 o'clock and the polling location ain't open, that's a small percentage of people, but our elections are decided by small percentages, and I'm getting on ahead of this because if this happens during a presidential election, you may see a different result because, Wisconsin's still a battleground state. We don't know if we're red. We don't know if we're blue. We're a bisexual voting state. We don't know what we are. We dabble. We're a bunch of freak voters. Sometimes the Republicans take us out on dates. They screw us, not in a good way. Sometimes the Democrats flirt with us a little bit better and they're offering a better meal and a better experience on the day. Sometimes we vote with them, but we don't know what we are. We're bipartisan. I'm over here sounding like Al, making everything sexual. So I have a letter here dated February 26, 2026. And it was sent to I don't even know who this person is. Maricha Harris, Deputy Director. Deputy Director of what? The Election Commission? You have Election Commissioners Terrell Martin, whose wife is on the ballot. If I'm not mistaken, Terrell Martin, who is the chair of the City of Milwaukee Election Commission. So you've got Terrell Martin, you've got Patricia Ruiz and Douglas Haig that are the election commissioners. Terrell Martin's wife, Felicia. Am I getting my Martins mixed up? It's a bunch of Martins in Milwaukee. It's too many. It's the Martins that own the Lena's Food Marts. It's Martins all over the place. But if I'm not mistaken, Terrell Martin is husband to Felicia Martin, who is a county board supervisor who has an opponent. Mr. Chairman, if you are listening, Mr. Chairman of the Election Commission, Mr. Terrell Martin, I couldn't vote for your wife because my polling location wasn't open. I'm just letting you know, as the commissioner, if you're listening, or I'm sure this is going to get back to him. I could not cast a ballot for your wife, nor could I cast a ballot for her opponent because my polling location was not open when I tried to vote at about 10 after 7. The letter states the Milwaukee Election Commission is announcing several polling location changes that will take effect in the 2026-2027 election season. These new polling locations will be activated starting with the April 7th spring election, so literally today. Not all voters will see a change to their location. In total, there are 7 polling location changes that impact 14 wards across 6 aldermanic districts and approximately 9,251 registered voters. Election day voting depends on strong partnerships with community organizations and public and private facility owners who make their spaces available for voting prior to each election season. The Milwaukee Election Commission conducts a comprehensive audit of polling sites to ensure that they meet standards for 1, safety and security, 2, Americans with disability accessibility, 3, voter access and walkability, and number 4, use of public buildings when available. Because polling locations often hold significant community recognition and familiarity, the Milwaukee Election Commission aims to avoid changes wherever possible. However, adjustments are sometimes necessary due to building ownership changes, construction, accessibility, weather-related damage, or facility availability. So where I vote, the polling location has not changed, but MPS was not available to open up the school, the Sherwin Multicultural Elementary School located at 5110 West Locust when I arrived to go vote. A shade after 7 a.m., not only was the polling location not open, voters were turned away, and there was no signage out front. Now, even if the location wasn't open, you don't have to have access to the building to put the signs out front, so there's malfeasance going on here. It's too much going on with Trump playing around with elections and voting and ballots and the accusation of voter fraud. We can't do this. Not here, we can't. Can't afford this here. Impacted registered voters in the affected wards will receive a postcard at least 30 days before the April 7, 2026 election with their new polling location information. Postcards will have Milwaukee Election Commission's logo with the new polling place name and address. So for those of you, and I know somebody of the 9,251 voters are impacted by your polling location change. Did you get a postcard? Some of you probably did not, and if you didn't, let's just get out ahead of this before we have our August primary for governor and then our November midterm election where we're going to be selecting the next governor and members of Congress here in the state of Wisconsin. Signage posted at both the old and new polling locations on Election Day. Updates on the Milwaukee Election Commission's Where to Vote and on the state's myvote.wy.gov website. E-Notify emails and social media posts. Voters must sign up for E-Notify by way of city.milwaukee.gov/news-events/E-Notify. Collaboration with community partners and neighborhood organizations. Media outreach and public notices. I received nothing from the Election Commission. I should have received something unless they sent it to, I don't know, Good Karma Brands and they didn't give it to me. I don't know. New polling locations, wards 22 and 23, Haven Woods Environmental Awareness Center, 6141 North Hopkins Street. Old location, new beginnings are possible. Relocation caused by change in building ownership. Ward number 40, Byron Kilbourne Elementary School, 5354 North 68th Street, old location, MPS 76th Street building. Relocation was required due to construction during the election season. Wards 47 and 49, Barack Obama CTE, Center for Teaching Excellence, probably, 5075 North Sherman Boulevard. Old location was the McGovern Senior Center. Relocation was required due to historic floods. Barack Obama CTE is already a polling location for Ward 48. Wards 82 and 321, Well Point Care Network, 8901 West Capitol. Old location, the Milwaukee Fire Department Station number 22. New location provides better accommodations for parking and heating concerns. Wards 142, 144, and 330. Hopkins Lloyd Community School, 1503 West Hopkins Street. Old location was the Milwaukee Rescue Mission. Facility is no longer available as a polling location. Wards 128, St. Mark's Episcopal Church, 2618 North Hackett. Construction at St. Mark's has been completed. Maryland Avenue Montessori School will remain an active polling location for wards 129 and 130. Wards 252, 269, and 344. Lions Park at 3301 South 55th Street. Old location was the Oklahoma Avenue Church. Construction at Lions Park has been completed. Allen's polling location wasn't listed. He said the Agape Center. Hold on now. I don't see that. So that would be, he's in the first aldermanic district. I don't have anything on this list that was sent out by the city of Milwaukee. Y'all over here tripping. I'm gonna take a break, come back, see what else is wrong in the world. Also, Trump made a statement that I want to discuss, and no pilots were rescued in Iran. How do I know that? Because we would have been told their names, their ranks, the branch of the military service. We would have been told that they were flown to Ramstein military base. Would have been told that they were flown to Walter Reed to be checked out for their injuries. They would be nominated for medals, and Donald Trump and the entire War Department would be using these two quote-unquote American heroes to promote the war effort, but we don't know their names because they were never rescued. Here's what actually happened. The area in which we sent U.S. forces, $200 million worth, was not near the area in which the planes went down. What that mission was to try and steal Iran's uranium. And they lied to us and disguised it as, they were sending in forces to get these down pilots. I think the planes were shot down and the pilots were killed. But then you can't, of course, tell that to the American people because an unpopular war will get even more unpopular. And let's be real clear about this. The Trump administration is going to lie to us before they tell us the truth. So the first things they say are going to be lies. We have to investigate and find the truth, usually through international media outlets. The pilots, we don't know their we would know their names. If somebody was shot down and rescued, those are American heroes, are they not? Don't you need heroes in this war to get better public support? We don't know their names or their ranks. We don't know nothing. We sent in forces. We told the American people we were going to rescue pilots. We were trying to steal uranium from Iran. We'll talk more about that later on in the program. But right now, we got to worry about Election Day. Go and cast your ballots for the candidates of your choosing. If you want to know who I would like to vote for, I haven't voted yet because my polling location wasn't open. But if you were lucky this morning and your polling location was open, you can go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device, search 1017 The Truth, hit subscribe. You'll be able to participate in the YouTube chat and also participate in our YouTube poll. Who you vote for. Don't worry. I ain't gonna tell nobody. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Put Brewers weekends back on your schedule when the Crew take on the Nationals April 10th through the 12th. Collect a new Mish trading card bobblehead for the first 25,000 fans on Saturday the 11th, courtesy of Toyota. Then reserve Sunday for a full day of family fun. Kids can run the bases, get autographs, and the first 5,000 kids get a Brewers wiffle ball set, courtesy of Joy. Plus, it's a kids cheer free Sunday. Grab your seat at brewers.com/tickets.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
And I don't gotta love if I don't want to. No, ay. If I ever fall in love again, I'll be a friend. Yeah, it's gonna be a friend. I ever fall in love again, I'll be a friend. Yeah. I like them cool and kinda cocky, not too much to make you move. And try to lock me, try to take away the juice. You cannot stop it, gotta understand the rules. I've been the type to wear the heart on my sleeve. Been the one to always choose the wrong play. Not the type to ever see me lonely. I keep my socks on during loving. In and out, baby, in and out, yeah.
I can't even answer our YouTube poll because I didn't vote. We're asking you, whom did you vote for in the state Supreme Court race? I don't have an answer. I'm not going to lie on the poll. I didn't get a chance to vote because I went to go vote and the polling location is closed. I'm making a big deal out of this because it's a big deal, and usually smaller, lower turnout elections stress the system less. Larger elections, much more popular elections, stress the system more. And so if there are any changes, any administrative changes, or if there are bureaucratic changes, and I would say these locations, polling location changes, which I'm alarmed by this because, first of all, I don't know if I can believe Alan. Alan might be confused because he often sounds confused. So I read a press release from the city of Milwaukee where they did list the different polling locations. What Alan was referring to was not on that list. That doesn't mean that this list is inaccurate. It could, because I'm seeing malfeasance, obviously. But also, Alan could be inaccurate, too. So we don't have the latitude or the luxury to make these kinds of mistakes. I'm not necessarily assigning blame. However, if a MPS school is not open to allow poll workers access to set up the machines and get everything connected and get the signage all squared away, it doesn't look good for the district because there are other things that we can point to in the Milwaukee public school system that are also underperforming. Underperforming things in the classroom is one thing. Underperforming when we need to use one of those buildings so that people can exercise their right is another. So MPS's failures, my opinion, need to be contained to the classroom, not also the voters. I'm not putting this on the city because I believe those poll workers got there when they were supposed to get. They probably get there at 6 o'clock in the morning and get all the things set up. You know, poll workers are old people. Old people get up at 4 a.m. They have their tapioca pudding and a little oatmeal, a little cinnamon, a little brown sugar and oatmeal. If they're feeling real special, they might get a little dollop of maple syrup in their oatmeal. You know, the old folks get up early now. Ooh, it's 4:30. I slept in. And they get dressed, take their Geritol, their high blood pressure medication, check their blood sugar, and they go on to the polling location because it's very important to them. Problematic. All right, let's see here. X, can you? I'm not going to vote in the poll. So the only way I can see the results of the poll so far, because we asked people on YouTube, whom did you vote for in the state Supreme Court race? So I can't vote because I can't vote in the poll because I couldn't vote at the real poll. So X, do you have a percentage of who voted for who of the listeners that participated so far?
Yes, it says 83% of the voters voted for Chris Taylor.
Okay. Well, I would vote for her too, but I couldn't because I tried to vote. And it's like, Sherwin, get your black ass out of here. We don't want you to vote, you N-word. No, they didn't say that. I'm kidding.
The good question is who voted? Who's the 17% that voted for the other lady?
It's more conservatives that participate in this program than you would imagine. Because they're nosy. And also, I don't blame them because whatever conservative talk radio is on right now sucks. It's terrible because they now are pigeonholed into supporting a political agenda that everybody hates because it's making everything more expensive. It's making more wars. We can't trust our media anymore because of the conservative actors. I don't even call them journalists or broadcast journalists or even real editorializers of journalism because they have to follow a political agenda that is killing us at the gas pump, killing our wallets and bank accounts, taking away our health insurance, a lot of pedophilia. That's got to suck to be one of them. And so they listen to us to get a little bit of common sense and also to repent. Listening to Black Talk Radio is kind of like It's like church for them. You know what I mean? Because they can be somewhat forgiven for their sins.
I don't hear you forgiving anyone.
But the repenting is here, though. No, I'm not. I don't forgive. Forgiveness is for women and Jesus. I'm neither of those. What am I forgiving somebody for?
For women only?
Yeah, because they say women, what are they? Women forgive but never forget. Men aren't mentioned in that.
I guess.
No, I don't forgive people because, like, why would I do that? Why did you screw up in the first place? Even if you apologize, I'll make note of it, but you're not forgiven because that means you can just do it again.
Yeah, very true.
Black people suffered worse and longer during chattel slavery than Jesus did when he was crucified. Think about that. He knew he was going to get crucified, and we didn't get a chance to come back 3 days later.
How do you feel about American Israel saying it wasn't the biggest, what did the World Court vote on it? It was like the most like atrocious thing that ever happened in American Israel, the only two countries that voted against it.
America, Israel, and I think Argentina was another country.
Oh, there we go. We gave them $30 billion. For free.
They also said that corporal punishment of children is child abuse. I mean, I agree with them. I don't disagree, but I'm not shocked by it. Well, Israel's going to be unlivable real soon. There's not, because all the people that are there, they're not even from there.
Well, did you hear about the new law that the Knesset just passed in Israel?
No, I didn't. I don't care about them people. You follow that stuff. I don't care. You know what I'm worried about? I couldn't vote this morning. I don't care about somebody. I care about Israelis as much as Israelis care about me. If Israeli talk radio talked about, boy, oh boy, things in Milwaukee are very bad, then I would listen to Israeli talk radio. I don't know them people. People ain't no kin to me. I don't. Otherwise, I just get mad. I don't care about them people. I got to worry about other stuff. I got to worry about when I'm gonna go vote for whomever it is I'm going to vote for. I know this much: the chairman of the Milwaukee Election Commission's wife is on the ballot. I live in Felicia Martin's County Board Supervisory District, and I couldn't vote for her. Maybe I'll vote for her opponent. His name is Stacy Smither? Smither? I know he gets mad when people say his name wrong. He's one of them dudes that runs for everything in hopes he gets lucky and wins. He's run for many things. You know the people. They get mad when they don't win, and they get mad at the electorate for not selecting them. Sherwin, why are these people so stupid? How come they don't never vote for me? Okay, what's your campaign platform? To give everybody $1 billion and a new car and let everybody get a new house and allow people to name the clouds after their children and have it be a legally binding document and have it so that people can go to the library and take books and never have to return them and paving all the streets with gold. They have these really insane campaign platforms, and I think that by having the most outrageous campaign platform, it's going to get them a bunch of votes. No, you're crazy. You're insane. Do you know how many insane people run for office? You guys would be astonished. And let me tell you how I know. Because they all email me. Sherwin, hi, can I get on your show and talk about how I'm going to take all the money from the Treasury and give it to 7-year-old babies? How I'm going to change the age to drive a car to 9? No, you can't come on the show. And then they get mad at me. Insanity. Some of them might be better than who we got, though. But a lot of them are they're nuts. And they stalk elected officials. It's like a real problem out there. There are some folks that have run. I know when Ashanti Hamilton was alderman, he had to punch a dude in the mouth before. That's why I can't be an elected official. That's why I couldn't be a teacher. That's why I couldn't be a cop. That's why I couldn't be a firefighter. It depends on what burned down. I might bring marshmallows. You know what I'm saying?
You're in the right position. Yep. Right job.
Because I have they didn't tell me this part. As you get older, anger and then apathy. I don't care about a lot of stuff. Xavier, you care about stuff I don't care about. Because you're young and idealistic and you think, I'm going to change that. No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
One show at a time.
So, look, the phone's ringing. Say, well, you let me know how your trip to Israel goes and how many Gazans you're going to save, and then we'll be fine. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Junior Achievement, students learn how innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship can turn a simple idea into something that changes an industry. With support from Cost Corporation, students are discovering how engineering, product design, and smart marketing bring great ideas to life. From pioneering studio headphones to building a brand recognized around the world, Cost shows students how technology and creativity shape the way we experience music. Learn more at ja.org.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
The baked potato just became the main event. At Loaded Spud, we take comfort food and turn it into something bold. Fresh baked potatoes piled high with creative toppings like buffalo chicken, steak and cheese, and classic loaded favorites, all made fresh and built to satisfy. Big flavor, generous portions, no shortcuts. It's fast, affordable, and proudly local. Loaded Spud, Milwaukee's most unexpected comfort food. Stop in today at 789 North Water Street or visit online at www.letsgetloaded.online. Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Linda, you're on 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Good morning, Professor. I was calling in just when I was listening to you and hearing that anger, and as I'm paying these taxes, man, I'm so angry, Sherwin, that we are so burdened with everything. Water taxes, property taxes, and then I get a ticket in front of the house that I live in, and it was just for one night.
Linda, hold on.
Oh my
How you
God,
get a
I'm
ticket?
so tired of this city.
How you get a ticket?
Huh?
How you get a ticket in front of your own house?
Because I left the car out, overnight in front of the house, and I get a parking ticket because I don't have parking. What do you call it? Whatever provision. And so, because I have a garage, but, I got lazy, and I just decided to sleep in.
No, hold on, Linda. Don't get mad at the city for that. So is it,
why not?
Hold on, because you were irresponsible, especially if you got a garage. Ain't nobody going to feel sorry for you. So on the
all I have to do is show my license that I pay property taxes here.
Okay,
I should be waived.
No, that's not how that works. Do you have an odd address or an even address?
Okay.
And yesterday was the 6th. If you would have parked the vehicle on the other side of the street, you wouldn't have got a ticket because the street sweepers got to come through. So when people park on the wrong side of the road, the street sweeper can't clean the street. That's all you. Don't get mad at the city for that, especially if you got a garage.
But, I'm just saying, Sherwin, I understand, I respect that ordinance, but I'm saying if a person owns the property, they live in front of the and they parked in front of their property, we should have a waiver for that because we're paying property taxes.
But Linda, what if other people that live on your block want their streets clean and the street sweeper can't come through because you parked on the wrong side? So what do you tell those
but
other
I'm
people
in front of my house, not anyone else's?
Yeah, the street sweeper's got to do the whole street, though, Linda. Why am I arguing about your irresponsibility? You sound like a black person. Stop. I'm not arguing with you about being irresponsible. Complain about the taxes.
Saying, though,
Don't complain about I got a garage and I wanted to sleep in. Well, you got a ticket. I bet you won't do it again.
I won't, but look at the bigger picture of what we are burdened with when you own property, when you are a working class citizen. We pay so much to keep this country going.
Now that's a legitimate.
And I'm burdened with it.
That's a legitimate gripe.
When I paid the We Energy bill,
okay.
And they asked for they always ask me for surveys, and I love the surveys, and I surely did. I gave them a verbal survey, and I told them we are tired of being burdened with increases. With these increases, it's just ridiculous. I told them what you said. This is like the 6th time, and we are burdened. We have to pay extra this, extra that, referendum this, referendum that. Come on now. How much? We are just working for this government. We are just working to keep this country afloat. We are not even getting a vacation. We're not even getting a massage.
Amen.
We're not getting a thank you from the IRS because all of that goes to the billionaires. I'm mad. It's hell.
Ooh,
for real.
Ooh.
I'm tired of I'm tired of carrying this country. All my life I've been working since I was 13. And I can't even get an extra check from the IRS because it goes to the billionaires or the portion that they should be paying. Man, this is ridiculous.
I got 20 seconds left. Get the rest of your gripes out.
And the cost of living is going up even more every day.
All right.
What about people that don't even have the ability as I do?
You got 8 more seconds. Get it out, Linda. 7, 6, 5, 4.
Bye, Sherwin.
All right. See you later. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
Another function of white supremacy, don't teach black people stuff, because if you give us a little bit of knowledge, we'll invent something totally new. That's why it was illegal to teach slaves to read, because if we could read, then we could write. And if we could write, we could communicate. And if we could communicate, we could plan. And if we could plan, we could strategize. And if we can plan and write and read and communicate and strategize, we could overthrow white supremacy, because they've always known how fragile it is.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org and donate if you can. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
I take care of the kids, and I take care of my dad. I take care of things at work. The groceries, the cleanups, the meltdowns, the doctor's visits, the family events, mealtimes, bedtimes. I take care of all the things everyone else needs. But I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Family caregivers are often overloaded. It can feel overwhelming and exhausting. It's no surprise that millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression every year. But help is available, because there may only be one you, but you don't have to do it alone. Head to mentalhealthcareworks.org. That's mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve, because mental health care works when you make the call. If you're experiencing a mental health crisis or thoughts of suicide, dial 988, a message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
All of your favorite 1017 The Truth content whenever you want. The Truth app has it all. The Truth is on 1017 and 1510 WGKB Waukesha, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Bust it out. Get your stuff. Bust it out. Get your stuff. Bust it out. Bust it out.
Welcome to hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Oh, look who we have on line 1. Hello, Al. Good morning to you. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. I just wanted to share something with you and the listeners if you go vote. They have an express vote where you can do it on the computer. I would be kind of leery of that because your ward might not be on the computer, and you might have to go through like 3-4 steps, and that might be a lot for a senior. So the regular ballot voting will probably be better, because I know in my district when I went this morning, they had the express vote, but when my mother went to vote, they didn't have express vote where she went. But in my district, they had the express vote where you do it on the computer, and my ward was not on the computer. And, of course, you know it was in the inner city. So I just wanted to share that information with y'all.
All right, where do you vote at? What's the location? And I think that so you didn't get a paper ballot. You can just go to a computer. That's usually the ADA accessible ballot machine where you can plug in like headphones if you can't see.
No, I did that. No, I did.
I've never even heard of that.
They had it there this morning. I did the ballot vote because when it's dealing with computers, it's too much of that. You know, that Elon Musk stuff and stuff get misscrewed, and now somebody got a lazy eye and see.
Walk me through the process. So you walked into the polling location. You have to go up to the table, show your ID, and you got to sign the poll book. Did you do all of that?
Correct.
And then
yes, I did, and
they gave you a ballot, correct?
Correct. So, but before I got the ballot, they said, well, did you want to do an express vote, okay? So when we tried to do the express vote, the ward wasn't on the machine. So I did.
So did you receive a paper?
Vote.
So okay, when you went to the table to sign the poll book and to show your ID, at that point, did they ask you if you wanted a paper ballot or if you wanted to express vote?
They asked me if I wanted an express vote or a paper ballot.
Okay.
But I did the paper ballot.
So you did the paper ballot. So then why did you go to the express vote machine? So you had a paper ballot in your hand.
Well, hold on. Pump the brakes. Hold on. The step before I did the paper vote, she said, well, do you want to do the express vote, right? So when we did the express vote, my ward was not on the express vote machine. So I came back and we said, we're going to do the paper ballot.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
That's what because, you know, you might have some seniors who might do the express vote, and they got to go through like 4 different steps just to give their vote. because you got to put the zip code in. You got to put your ward in. My ward was not on that machine.
What location?
So I'm just saying if...
Where did you go? What was the name of the place?
It was off of Finn, the school over there off of Finn.
But you don't recall the name of the school?
No, I don't recall the name of the school, but it's right off of, hold on, let me think, like 17th and Keith. It's like 17th and Keith. It's between Keith and Finn. Okay. It's a school right there.
Were you able to cast your ballot?
Hell yeah. I cast my ballot. Yes, I did. I'm just saying, don't do the express vote. That's all I'm calling to tell people.
All right,
do your paper ballot. That's all. All right. Y'all have yourself a good day. Bye-bye.
I don't even know what that is. I've been voting for all the years. The only time I've seen the option to vote on a computer screen was when I voted early for, oh God, it was in 2020 when we were voting at Midtown. And there was a party in a parking lot. People was giving away hot dogs and people was playing music and twerking. And every time somebody registered to vote, everybody rang bells and started clapping and shit. You guys remember voting early at Midtown during the pandemic? When it was like looked like Freaknik? We voted with a computer, and then you voted on the touchscreen, and then it printed out a slip, and then the slip you handed into a person. I don't know what express voting is. Has anybody else seen this before? What are they doing? What is happening? I got turned away this morning because my polling location wasn't open. Al is talking about express voting where the ward he lives in wasn't on the machine. What are you doing? Why? It used to be so easy. It's gotten... Why? All right, okay, here we go. Everybody calm down. I'm hot for some reason. Am I reading this correctly? Xavier on line 2, Lise? Is it not? It's not Lisa? Hello. Hi, Reese.
It's Lee. How you doing, Sherwin?
It's Lee?
Good morning to you, Mr. Sean.
Hi, Lee.
Hey, I was just listening to your... Nice talking to you too, sir. I was just listening to what Al was saying about the voting. This morning when I went, exactly the same thing. They asked me if I wanted to use the speed voting.
What location? Where did you vote?
I was over there on 35th and Villard.
What was
the library?
It's a library on 35th. Okay, the Villard Street Library.
Mm-hmm.
And they said you want to use. So you walk in, you got to go up to the table and show your ID, and you got to sign the poll book. And once you do that, that's when they give you the option for the express votings.
Yes, sir.
Did you use the express?
That was correct. No, I prefer to use the ballot.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
All right, Sherwin.
Thank you for letting us know. All right. What is y'all doing now? Here's the thing. A lot of city officials listen to this program either live or they're going to hear it later. Let me go ahead and say this because I'm on your side. I'm an institutionalist. I think the government should work for the people. If y'all go change stuff, you got to tell me because I can tell more people in one moment than y'all can in 6 months. Okay, so if you change stuff on how we vote, I'm so easy to reach. People reach me that I don't even want to reach me, and it's fine because if you've got information I need to convey to the public, just let your boy know. If you don't have my phone number, the person sitting next to you probably does. Just say, hey, y'all got Sherwin's contact. Somebody will stand up and raise their hand. Just shoot your boy a little text message. Or you can email me. Email me. I've got 77 email addresses. If you just type Sherwin Hughes in, you'll get something. You guys got to let me know because I don't want to be blindsided. I don't express voting. It's already fast. It's only like 2 people on the ballot. How do you get more express than that? I don't like this. Don't make me get on the phone. You know what I used to do? I found out I can't do it anymore. So whenever there's an issue or an irregularity, because I can dial out from my phone. And I got a phone in my studio. Xavier has a phone in his studio. Typically, what radio hosts do is they will give a phone number to their producer for their producer to dial. I don't do that. I dial my own. I play my own music too. Most people, their producers play their music. All the music, unless when we play one of those Al songs. Well, Sugar Honey Iced Tea, I play that in my studio. I do all my own dialing, and so I used to call people and talk to them. But I come to find out it's not illegal, but you're supposed to tell people that they're on the air. Is there an expectation of privacy when I call a private agent or I'll call a public agency? Whatever. They told me I can't do it anymore. Do you guys remember when I called to try to schedule a vasectomy on the air? Because there was the whole abortion debate that was going on, and I called a urologist, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to schedule a snip, and I was hoping they would give me all. They're like, no, we're going to schedule you for a consultation. I was like, I don't need to be consulted. I want to get snippety snips. I want to shoot blanks. They're like, no, Mr. Hughes, we're going to have to go through a whole bunch of questions, and we're going to have to blah, blah, blah. Because I want more men to get vasectomies. And the whole point I was making with that is if a man gets a vasectomy, it's not a woman's business. Some of you remember that radio show because you got really angry with me. Because a woman can be on birth control or not, and she doesn't have to tell that man. A woman can get pregnant, have an abortion. If the man wanted to keep the baby, he has no say-so whatsoever. In fact, she's not even obligated to tell him. So I was like, fellas, our body, our choice. If we get a vasectomy, it's none of her business, just like when it comes to her reproductive rights and her reproductive freedom, because I'm about equality here. And a woman does not have to disclose anything at all about her health care decision, her reproductive rights. But when I said that men that don't want any more children should get a vasectomy and they're not obligated to tell anybody except God, the number of women that called in and said it wasn't fair, that men should have to sign a release in order to get a vasectomy, women sounded like pro-life men. It was one of the most glorious radio shows I've ever done. Because women who were fighting for their own reproductive rights and freedom thought that men shouldn't have any. There literally were women that said, a man needs to get permission. And then some woman even made a law up saying, a man can't get a vasectomy unless he gets permission from his wife. Like hell. Let's talk to Carolyn. Carolyn, hi. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Sherwin. How are you doing today?
I'm not sure. I'm a little angry because I got turned away at the polling location this morning.
That would be a bit agitating. I would just want to ask the question. I was listening to Linda when she was talking about the parking in front of her house and how she got the ticket and stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with her because I'm not a Milwaukeean. I wasn't raised here. I was raised in the West. This is the dumbest thing I have ever seen. And is it only in Milwaukee? Because I don't think it's in any of the outlying communities, is it? Where you have to park on an even and odd day?
I wouldn't know. I know a lot of those suburban communities don't have street sweepers because we complain about how much garbage is in the street and on the gutters and in the curbs. So we have this rule so that the street sweepers can clean unabated our streets. And there's no excuse for what Linda did because Linda said she got lazy. She got a whole garage to put her vehicle in. And here's the other thing. What if her car would have gotten stolen? Right? Because she decided she wanted to leave it on the street instead of parking it in a garage. That's her responsibility. So do they have it in other areas? That I don't know.
I guess I'm thinking like this. Okay, I understand the street sweeping concept, and that would really be good if they really swept the street. But I understand Linda's point of view, too, because if I buy a house, I want to be able to park in front of my house.
You don't own the street. The street is public.
Have a lot of little.
But Carolyn, you don't own that.
But what I'm saying is, I want to be able to park in front of my house. And with the street sweeping thing, that's a lot of crap. These streets are so dirty. They don't do no.
Because people park on the wrong side of the street.
They don't sweep, Sherwin. You know they don't. That's just an excuse. They can do like the other cities around the country do. When there's time to street sweep, they let the community know, okay, on such and such a day, we're going to be coming through your community to street sweep, and if you are not moved, then you're going to get a ticket. They don't have to have this ordinance just set in place where you parking on either side of the street. That's dumb. It really is. Milwaukee does too much. Thank you.
All right. Bye. I'm fighting everybody today. I want. You don't own the street. Now here's what the property rights you do have. Can't nobody park in your driveway. That is a violation. okay? But you don't own the street. The street is public. And if there are rules and ordinances that say on even numbered days you park where the addresses are even, I thought everybody just knew that. I should be able to park in front of my house on property that I do not technically own because it's my house. And first of all, the houses aren't even ours unless it's paid for. The damn bank owns your house. The bank should be able to park in front of your house. What's happening with everybody? Why are we all... I'll fight somebody. I'm that hot.
Yeah, you seem kind of angry today.
Because I've never been denied the vote in my life. I feel like a slave. I feel like, hello, sir. I sure would love to cast my ballot. Oh, Lord, I sure does want to vote. Get out of here, nigger. If you don't get your black ass out of here, I'm going to beat you. Oh, Lord, please, no. Not another lashing. All I wants to do is vote for the president. And I do a little tap dance. I'm very angry. Now, they fixed it, but that ain't the point. I got to rearrange my day. I got a packed schedule today. I got so much stuff to do. I got stuff that I didn't do last night I had to do. I got to submit a proposal. I got a lot of stuff. I got a packed day. I was going to start my day by going out and casting my ballot, and they said, no, MPS didn't let us in. We couldn't set up. You can't. You want to wait? I said, no, I got to be on the radio. So the radio can wait then if it's important. No, I didn't say all that, but you know what I mean? There's some people that are not going to vote in this election because they went to go vote because the only time they had available to vote. And what if they did ask for a little bit of time off of work to go and cast their ballot and the polling location wasn't open? I'm making a big deal out of this because something like this that is allowed to persist, and I'm not necessarily assigning blame. I wish I could. I don't know who was at fault. I don't think it was anything malicious because if stupidity usually is the reason and it's not malice or ignorance or just somebody not doing what they're supposed to do. I don't think they're saying, ooh, let's make sure the people in wards 159, 323, 92, and 93 can't vote. No, I don't think it was that. I just think that just like some individuals may not have been located, may not have been notified, but I don't know about that. Sometimes we get stuff in the mail and we just disregard it. I get a lot of stuff in the mail. I wish I could stop those paper coupon things, the stuff your mailbox. You can't stop those. So I wish I didn't get those. And then every other piece of mail that I get is somebody offering to buy my house. Hi, we buy houses. Are you the owner of said address? We want to buy your house. I get a lot of those. No, you can't buy my house because I'm not going to move into another house and start over with a new mortgage. I'm at the finish line of my mortgage, and it feels very good. I remember when my mortgage was a dollar amount that was intimidating. Now, if I hit me a nice little lick, you know what I mean? I said that if oil got to $90 a barrel, it's like $114 a barrel, but what I wasn't going to do was put my investments in oil futures. Maybe I should have. But they do so much unusual and unconventional stuff. The price of oil is controlled by other people and other forces, and then all of a sudden I invest my entire, portfolio into oil futures, and all of a sudden oil goes down to $47 a barrel. Now I'm homeless and naked.
It's not too late. Looking at the news today.
Trump threatened to kill everybody in the world. So I need to check the market. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take a break? I need to switch to decaf. Okay? Maybe we'll play some relaxing music. I can calm my nerves a little bit. Maybe some of you should start parking on the correct side of the street. I hope you all get tickets because guess what? Happened to me before. Fell asleep. Left my vehicle on wrong side of the street, got a $25 ticket. I was like, I ain't got nobody to blame but myself. We're the only people that will clearly violate a rule, violate a law, violate an ordinance, and get mad at the law. Well, I believe that I should not ever get a ticket because my last name is Smith. I don't think it is legitimate nor fair for this thing that I didn't know about to be illegal. Well, I should be able to run red lights if I'm in a hurry. No, you get a ticket if you park. I was told it was because of the street sweepers, and they sweep my street. Now, I don't do it every night, but I got a garage, so be damned if I have a nice car and can't have a garage. I wouldn't buy that house. You know, people break into your cars and steal them. Got to have a garage. All right, let's take a break. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. It's a program that I do Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until noon. You can go to 1017thetruth.com and listen to it on your cell phone. You can go to youtube.com, search 1017 The Truth. You can search Sherwin Hughes on YouTube and stuff comes up. There's 1,000 ways to listen. There's a podcast. It's on Spotify. For you Apple people, it's on iTunes. We're on X, which is Twitter. Is my show on Facebook too? Nope.
No.
All right, don't go to Facebook. Well, go to my Facebook. 1017 The Truth Facebook. Am I on Instagram? I'm on Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. Got to make sure now, but not Facebook. You can watch everybody else's show on Facebook, just not mine, because, I don't want to make it too easy for you. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's that time of year again for the Tory Lowe Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we'll be cleaning up the city of Milwaukee. You can also safely get rid of hazardous household items thanks to MMST. Drop off your items from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at MLK Elementary School. We're talking things like all antifreeze, paint thinners, batteries, and pesticides. Sign up now at ToryLoweCleanup.com. The Tory Lowe Community Cleanup is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Sub, and Waste Management.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we don't leave success to chance. We're designed for it. With strong support, high expectations, and a team committed to excellence, our educators turn belief into outcomes every day. If you believe every child deserves an excellent education, join Milwaukee College Prep. Apply today. Visit mkeprep.com/jobs.
Are you planning a special event? Do you need a personal chef? Either way, make it tasteful. I'm Alicia the Chef, owner of Tasteful Events Catering, and we create customized food experiences for any occasion. We bring quality, flavor, and professionalism to every table. Whether it's a special event or everyday meal solutions, we focus on delivering more than just food. We create experiences. Book today or learn more online at www.tastefuleventscatering.com.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
So apparently, an anonymous person from the election commission called. They didn't want to be on the air. And they said that express voting has existed since 2020. So at my polling location, I always ask for a paper ballot because I do. JD actually, he asked me a question in the YouTube chat. Why don't I vote early? Because I don't need to. I also want to minimize, to the best of my ability, the transport of my ballot, which will cut down on irregularities. So when you vote early at one of the different scattered sites, your ballot is held and then it's got to be transported to your polling location the evening of the election. So you vote, they put it in an envelope, and it sits somewhere. I don't know where, but I've also heard of situations where 14,000 ballots were found under somebody's desk after an election. So I want to minimize that, because whenever you have a system that involves people, there's going to be mistakes. Always going to be some mistakes. I want to, as a voter, reduce how many hands are touching my ballot. If it's some kind of pandemic or national emergency, will I vote early or vote by mail? I will, but I'd rather not. I vote on election day. I'm an election day voter. There's millions of us. We prefer it that way. I want to see my ballot go into the machine. I don't want my ballot to be sealed in an envelope, and then somebody opens the envelope, then they feed it into the machine. Now, I want to feed it in the machine because I like the way it sounds when it accepts your ballot. It makes me tingle because it makes that sound. I don't even know if it sounds like that. It's been a long time since I voted, but it makes an affirming sound. But then sometimes, every now and again, you might mess up on a ballot, and then you feed the ballot into the machine. And plus, I like the way it feels. When the ballot gets snatched, I like it's snatching it. I like it. I like it takes it very nicely. It takes it real good. It takes it right there in the slot. I like that. I like to insert it slowly at first, and then it takes it. I like that part. But if you mess up on your ballot, like if it's, I don't know, a partisan primary and you vote for the wrong party or something, and then it gives a sound of disapproval. I don't like that. I don't know if it sounds like that, but it rejects your ballot. And then the poll worker's like, oh, hi, can I look at your ballot to see where you screwed up? No, you cannot look at my ballot to see where I screwed up, but I'll take another ballot, please. And then they'll ask you again, can I look at your ballot? No, you can't. I'd rather show you my kibbles and my bits than my ballot. I'm not showing you who I voted for so you can go tell people that you saw who Sherwin Hughes voted for. What if I voted for a communist candidate? I could never live that down. Speaking of which, I had the communist lady on the show last week. Had one of my colleagues, I had a bunch of people give their opinions on the interview, okay? Y'all said that I sounded like I was sweet on Francesca Hall. I wasn't sweet on her. She's very likable, though.
Yeah, I thought you asked great questions, and she gave great answers.
Of course I ask great questions. I'm an expert interviewer. I've interviewed some of the best people. Don't get me on the list. Y'all would be shocked. You ready? Eva Longoria, Sarah Jessica Parker, Magic Johnson, Martin Luther King III, Star Jones, John Legend, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Eric Holder. Did I say John Legend? Yep. I've interviewed them all. I interviewed John Legend once and thought it was a good idea to sing one of his songs to him. Worst idea I've ever had, because I thought he was going to comment on how well I sang one of his songs. He pretended like I didn't sing one of his songs, and he went on with the interview without me. He just kept talking. He didn't even acknowledge the fact that I sang The Way You Used to Love Me, or Used to Love, whatever the song is called. I sang it just a little bit, and I sang a little bit of the verse and the hook, and he just didn't. Oh, I interviewed Maya Angelou. She was so impressed with the interview. I'll never forget this. She asked my producer, Keon Jackson Malone, may he rest in peace, if she could get my mother's phone number. I'm not kidding you, Maya Angelou, the famed, world-renowned poet's poet. asked for my mother's phone number because she was so impressed with me that she wanted to talk to my mother. Never had that happen before. Oh, I've had other people talk to my mother before. It's not because they were impressed with me, I assure you. My mother became friends with Maya Angelou. They used to talk on the phone. She sent my mother a collection of autographed books before she died. Those books are priceless now. Isn't that wild? So, yeah, I guess I can add Francesca Hahn to that list as well. Oh, I've interviewed Congresswoman Gwen Moore and Tony Evers and Cavalier Johnson and David Crowley and all the alderpersons except for... Have I interviewed a white alderperson? Yeah, Bob Donovan. Tony Zelensky when he used to be an alder. Not many whites. I don't get a lot of white alders. I don't know why not. Well, probably because I don't ask them. But yeah, I've interviewed a lot of people. I know this much, I couldn't vote today. Like, get out of here, boy. We don't want your kind. They didn't say that. But I was hurt. You know, I've never been turned away. That's usually something that I hear about happening somewhere else, like in Alabama or in Michigan or Dearborn or New Haven, Connecticut or something where there's voting irregularities or something. Not me. I'm sounding a little arrogant right now, but how dare you deny me the right to vote? I'll put cases on all you. All right, what are we doing with our lives here? I'm not voting in the YouTube poll. X, can you give me an update on the question that we asked via YouTube? Whom did you vote for in the state Supreme Court race, being that I was unable to vote this morning?
He just switched. 84% said they voted for Chris Taylor. 16% said they voted for Maria Salazar or whatever. Lazar.
All right. Yeah, Chris Taylor is... So what happens is this doesn't change the balance of the court, but in the event that Chris Taylor wins, there will be a 5-2 anti-Trump majority on the Wisconsin State Supreme Court, and will be solidified at least until the year 2031, meaning when we have our census count, assuming they don't let Donald Trump do a census count before the year 2030, and we redraw district boundaries and maps, if the Republicans have control of the legislature, they're going to draw maps that are going to be decidedly unfair for Democratic-leaning districts. We will have a state Supreme Court that will have a high enough majority that those maps submitted by the Republicans will likely get thrown out and redrawn. We're also hoping that Donald Trump is not president in 2031, but at this point, I don't know. I know he's building a ballroom that won't be completed until after he's out of office. I also know, let me quote, I don't want to get this wrong. Trump says, you ready for this? If you're not seated, sit down. If you're driving, pull over. This is what your president said. Whole civilization will die tonight. That's what he said. I don't like to believe the stuff he says, but the things that I opt not to believe because they're so incendiary, outrageous, far-fetched, insane, and demented, that's the stuff he actually does. So look, I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I'm going to talk about Donald Trump saying, not the Iranian civilization, not Asians. He said the whole civilization will die. If that means us, it's a girl I've been trying to sleep with since the 12th grade. So if it, you know what I mean? If we're going to die tonight, I want to come and go at the same time. So I need to see if I can get her to hang out tonight. So we'll talk about that on the other side of the truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Versity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here, together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving. you're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/VersityOnKing to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
If oil gets to $90 a barrel, I'll be able to pay off my house. I think war is awful. It's terrible. It doesn't resolve things. It creates long-lasting hatred and even more conflict that the American people are always going to find themselves involved in.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
But if I don't have a mortgage, you know what I mean? You take the good with the bad. Didn't Donald Trump say he was going to end the wars? You can't have America first if you're involved in all these foreign wars. And there's people that believed him when he said that. He doesn't like wars. He said it many times. Said it on the campaign trail.
Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 1017 The Truth.
He's bombed just as much in his first year as any warmongering hawk president we've ever seen since World War II.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always know they belong. It's about planting roots and knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. Axe Housing will let you work with a coach and help you create a plan and a budget and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families in our areas and neighborhoods become homeowners, and many are paying a lot less than they're paying Barada. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Your legacy begins at home. I have come to find out I am contributing to the downfall of Western society, which put that blame on me if you want to. I would rather blame something like, white supremacy, but I'll take some blame for my investments in Palantir and NVIDIA. I'm also a pro data center person because the way y'all like to take pictures and post them on Facebook, we need cloud storage. Because if you tell people to drive less and to carpool and to take public transportation because of the carbon emissions, people will tell you to screw yourself. But then they'll take a bunch of pictures of stuff that's not important, and that data needs to get stored in the cloud, and we take more and more pictures. We're using more and more data. But if I ask people, stop taking pictures of your food, no, I won't do that. You got to put the data somewhere, and if we got all this land, have you ever driven through Wisconsin? There's nothing. I've been to, how many counties? 72 counties. I've probably been through 65. Easily. The ones way up north, if I've been to Vilas County, I think that's the only one that borders Lake Superior that I've been to. Iron County I haven't been to, and then whatever county Superior is in. But I've been everywhere. Wisconsin is full of nothing. There's nothing. It's not even a lot of people. Put a data center there. Why not? What else are you guys doing with the land? Nothing. You're not growing any corn and soybeans. That's for foreign countries. Don't put a data. I don't want a data center because I don't want it. Shut up. Nobody care about you. You're from a small town. You be glad that you have a telephone. Be glad you have electricity. Be glad that you have indoor plumbing. If we need your land, you don't want me to be governor. Y'all would be either very, 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 very happy or you'd hate my guts. If I was governor of Wisconsin, the first thing I would do is take Northern Michigan. It's attached to us. Could you imagine? So most of us have two arms. I hate to brag, but I got two arms. At least I do now. Imagine if one of your arms that's attached to your body was owned by your nephew. Like just owned by another person, even though it's attached to you. Northern Michigan is attached to Wisconsin. That's our land. So that's the first thing I do is I would find some troops. I'd give me a militia, which, is that unconstitutional to do that? If I'm governor of Wisconsin and I say, no, we're going to, you know how Trump tried to take Greenland? Or he suggested it? I would take Northern Michigan. And then Northern Michigan residents would be Wisconsinites. We would add to our land, we would add to our population, would add to our travel and tourism, we would add to our tax base, and we would add congressional districts because we would be adding population. We would get more money. And what's Michigan going to do? Michigan don't need two states. And if you notice, is Northern Michigan even called Northern Michigan? Like West Virginia is called West Virginia. North Dakota is called North Dakota. South Dakota is called South Dakota. North Carolina, South Carolina, two separate states, two separate names. I think Northern Michigan is just still Michigan. Not if I become governor. In fact, I wonder if I should. Oh, I've also interviewed Tony Evers a whole bunch. He's probably, I'm not kidding y'all, Tony Evers is easier for me to interview than some local Milwaukee elected officials. I send a single email. They always get back to me in 24 hours with the time in which the governor is available. I got to wait a week sometimes. Like I just sent an email to Brenda Casilius' people. We got to get her on the show. We got to get her on the show. But who knows when they're going to get back to me. Oh, look who's on line one. Good God almighty. I got to prepare myself. I know he didn't vote. I know he didn't.
Why you say that?
'Cause I just have a feeling he didn't vote.
Well, I'm sure he's going to tell you.
You know, this is a man that just, when he came to the market hall for the first time, he just left his vehicle in an intersection and gave his keys to someone that he thought was a valet. FYI, if you come to the 3rd Street Market Hall, if you think we have valet here and you give your keys to someone, that's a thief. They'll steal your car. So when you come here, find a parking spot or park in the structure. If you give your keys to someone here, you may never see your car again. And what's crazy is the person would blame me. Well, Sherwin, I came up there and I gave my keys to somebody. Now my car got stolen. It's your fault. Hello, Bob.
Sherwin, yeah, how you doing, Sherwin? I mean,
hey man, listen.
No.
Did you vote?
No, wait.
What you mean? You tell me to wait? Who you telling? Who are you yelling at?
I gotta say this, Sherwin. I really, if it wasn't for you, you started me to vote. The second vote I had because I voted for Obama, but you don't have the clout no more. They didn't even let you know. I don't care how many people you talk to. That's eye-opening. You have no clout anymore, Sherwin.
Let me tell you something.
I'm just saying about that. I have to face that. I have to face that. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. You think it's sweet. Let me tell you this much. If there's me and you and a flight of stairs. Only one of us is making it home. You understand me? You better not be nowhere near me if it's some stairs, because one of us ain't going to make it home. How's that for
Sherwin,
clout?
You have no clout no more. It's sad. I will talk to you later. It's very sad.
All I know is this.
No
if it's me and you and a flight of stairs, I hope you can spread. You got wings? I hope you can fly like a bird.
You didn't vote this morning? I mean, they didn't tell you?
Keep playing with me.
They didn't tell you?
Keep playing with me. See, everybody, Sherwin, why you be giving Bob such a hard time because of this right now? Why you playing with me, old man?
No,
you must think it's sweet.
No, I just noticed that you don't have clout anymore. You didn't even vote. You didn't tell you. I mean, what is going on? I'll talk to you later.
Bob, let me tell you what. If I see you, it's on site, buddy. It's on site. I don't care where we at. I don't care if we at a church picnic. I don't care if we at the fair, Summerfest, a carnival. I don't care if we at the police station. It's on site, buddy. Over here playing with me like what I'm a joke? What you laughing at? Everybody laughing at me? Y'all, okay, let me. Don't ask what's in here. It's water. Calm down.
You might need some release.
I always need a release. I promise you that, buddy. Man, listen. Need to get the poison out. It's time. You know what I mean? You just got to get it. I'll feel much better once.
Yeah, I can sense that.
I got a lot of stuff I got to do today, including voting. I didn't plan to get turned away at my polling location because the school wasn't open and the poll workers couldn't set up. Now I come to find out they got touchscreen voting. Al called in. He couldn't even, the touchscreen voting didn't have his ward on it. What are we doing here now? I usually am on the side of our government and elected officials, at least local government, because local government works. Maybe it's a little slower, but they'll fill the potholes. If you tell them where the potholes are, the problem is we complain about the potholes, but we don't report the potholes. Local government works now, usually, unless it's the school board. Then not really. But when you don't let me vote, it's a bad idea, because I'll just tell everybody. All right, why don't we do this? Oh, I'm not playing about Bob, just so y'all know. So if you see him somewhere, make sure I'm not in that same location, because I
How old is Bob?
179.
Sounds like it.
I think he's 72.
Really?
The first time he voted was for Obama.
That's insane.
You no good sapsucker. What's the point of being black if you don't use your right to vote? That's why I'm so upset. I felt like I was in Jim Crow in the South. Boy, you can't vote today. All of a sudden, the dogs and the fire hoses came. Well, they didn't come, but they might have. Had I insisted, I should have started singing "We Shall Overcome" at the polling location. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. This is where it gets fancy. Day deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. Skip the sterile clinical office feel. Sweet Talk stays on the cutting edge of beauty and wellness innovations in a vibrant, playful space promoting self-love and confidence. Sweet Talk specializes in a range of treatments including injectables, medical-grade skincare, weight loss, hormone therapies, and more. Not sure where to start? Sweet Talks offers comprehensive wellness consultations to create a customized plan centered around you. Because at Sweet Talks, your goals are their goals. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Feel like taking on the church. Yeah. Oh, Lord. I got turned away at the polls today, so I'm feeling like a civil rights advocate. I should call Tory Lowe. Hey, powerful. Tory probably wouldn't care that I got turned away.
Why do you say that?
I don't think because I vote for different people, I think, than him.
Oh, you think he voted for Maria?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I am familiar with his political affiliations, and sometimes our political affiliations don't match, which is totally fine. I don't need people to vote the way that I vote. Unless I'm running for office, then yes, I need people to vote the way I vote because I'd be voting for myself. But I already told you what kind of elected official that I would be. I either would be beloved or recalled. It's no in the middle. Either you love what I'm doing because I would challenge a lot of things. And I've learned this just in my professional life. People will take the path of least resistance, but also it leaves a lot of work unfinished. And I would try to accomplish some of that unfinished work just because I've listened to people for so long. I've heard so many complaints about all the things that are not happening. We could have reasonable policy changes that could be more effective, more efficient, that could save us money. But because it would take a tremendous amount of work, some of my colleagues on whatever elected body I ever was elected to would want to stifle me because I would make it look like they've been ineffective. I've seen that quite a bit. Whenever you are young and idealistic and you have a lot of energy and motivation, you want to change stuff, there's a whole bunch of people that have stopped short of making those changes. And when you come in and want to make them, you expose their laziness. And they don't like that, especially white folks. They do not want a black person coming in and making change because we have to, because we see the world differently and the world shines a different light on us. So the effectiveness that we need in government, bureaucracy, and policy is different from what white folks need. A lot of times white folks don't really need anything. They're fine. They're okay. Black folks do need more things from our government. We also just evolve differently. We come from a place, our evolution was the environment that provided everything that we needed. Where white people evolved in like Northern Europe where it was really cold, their environment didn't provide anything that they needed. They had to go and take it. They had to go steal it. They had to go colonize because their environment was not very resource rich. Ours was. We pull things from our environment, meaning if there's an opportunity, if there's a benefit, if there's some money in our environment, we as black folks think it belongs to us because our environment is here to serve us. White folks didn't have nothing in their evolution, in their environment, so they had to go take it from other people. That's why their skin is white. That's why they have less melanin, because where it's colder, the sun's rays are more indirect, therefore the colder climate. So the less melanin they had, the more vitamin D that could be synthesized from the indirect rays of the sun. And vitamin D, we know, is a very important hormone. It also is important in children. Women that are pregnant need vitamin D. You ever seen one of those big-ass prenatal vitamins? They're the size of an elbow. They're huge. But vitamin D is very important for the healthy delivery of babies. And the further away from the equator you evolved, the less melanin you have in your skin, the more vitamin D your body can synthesize with those indirect rays. And because we evolved closer to the equator, we need more melanin to protect us from the directness of the sun's rays. These are literally the only differences between black and white. And from that science, white folks thought they were better. No, you're a genetic mutation so that you don't get skin cancer, which they get anyway. It's just it's amazing. And they just said, oh, we have a genetic mutation. Let's go steal black people? Make that make sense. I'm saying all of this to say I couldn't vote today, okay? I'm sitting here before you as a non-voter. I feel like a traitor to my race. Don't worry. I'm going to go vote when I get done with the show today, and I'm going to go in there loud and vocal. I'm going to stomp my feet. I got my Timberlands on today. My steel toes on. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 3.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Join us for the Tory Low Community Cleanup on April 18th from 8 a.m. to noon. A chance to come together, give back, and make our neighborhoods shine. Presented by the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District. This event is all about community pride and keeping Milwaukee clean. And while you're out, take advantage of the mobile drop-off open from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at MLK Elementary School, 3275 North 3rd Street. Perfect for safely getting rid of unwanted items.
At Junior Achievement, students learn how innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship can turn a simple idea into something that changes an industry. With support from Cost Corporation, students are discovering how engineering, product design, and smart marketing bring great ideas to life. From pioneering studio headphones to building a brand recognized around the world, Cost shows students how technology and creativity shape the way we experience music. Learn more at ja.org.
You've been diagnosed with COPD, but breathing seems to be getting harder. Everyday activities, walking to the mailbox, going up the stairs, talking on the phone take more effort than they used to. You're short of breath more often. Flare-ups are happening more frequently. And slowly, life starts to feel smaller. Is this you? If your COPD symptoms are getting worse, there may be options that can help you breathe easier and get back to doing more of what matters to you. That could mean walking further, spending more time with family and friends, feeling more confident leaving the house, and getting back to the life you want to live. If your COPD is changing, it's time to have a conversation with your doctor. Visit the COPD Foundation website at isthisyoucopd.org to learn the signs of severe and worsening COPD and the right questions to ask next. Take action today, breathe better tomorrow.
I take care of the kids, and I take care of my dad. I take care of things at work, the groceries, the cleanups, the meltdowns, the doctor's visits, the family events, mealtimes, bedtimes. I take care of all the things everyone else needs. But I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Family caregivers are often overloaded. It can feel overwhelming and exhausting. It's no surprise that millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression every year. But help is available, because there may only be one you, but you don't have to do it alone. Head to mentalhealthcareworks.org. That's mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve, because mental health care works when you make the call. If you're experiencing a mental health crisis or thoughts of suicide, dial 988, a message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Listen to the home of the 5K Gruber Cash Giveaway. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's the elections like erection. Yeah. Posters on the pole, faces on the screens, promises in bold print, selling every dream. Lines round the corner, grandma in the chair, teenager first time, a bus stick in the air, campaign vans crawling, flags in the ring. Everybody arguing like the trophies in the frame. Power at the doorstep, you can feel it in your chest. Whole block charged up, ain't nobody trying to rest. This the kind of vote, make the block stand tall. Pencils in the air like we writing on the wall. Heartbeat racing, crowd straight flexing, whole town hyped up. Elections like erections, hands in the sky, feel the built up pressure. Every little choice make the big game better. Goosebumps, sweat drops, full on tension, whole world charged up. Elections like erection, top show shouting.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I've got some Trump stuff here that Marquise said Bob checkmated me. Don said, Sherwin, you got married? Congratulations, if so. Millicent said, if you're not happy with the rules in Milwaukee, move. All capital letters. Radcliffe said 25th and Lloyd, and he said, oh, he voted. He's got his I voted sticker. Why you rubbing it in my face, Radcliffe? Don't nobody need to see your I voted sticker. I didn't get one because I was turned away this morning. I couldn't vote because the polling location wasn't set up. I voted 7 o'clock on election day. It's what I do. Sherwin, why didn't you vote early? Because I'm not voting early. I'm not doing that. Unless it better be another pandemic, because I need to see what's going on at the polling location. I got to make sure everything is going okay. I got to make sure everything is flowing smoothly. When I vote early, I got to have a lot of faith. A lot of faith that the ballot that I cast at a place where it's not going to get counted. My ballot doesn't get counted when I vote early. My ballot has got to get transported to my actual ward and it gets counted there on election night. So if my ballot is getting counted on election night, I'm not voting early. I'm going to vote on election day. Meaning my ballot can stay exactly at the location where I last touched it. I don't need you touching on my ballot. I don't know you. Oh, sure, we're going to move your ballot to your polling location. No, you're not. I don't even trust some of y'all to pick up your kids. I don't even trust some of y'all to check the back seat on a hot summer day when you got kids. You're not transporting my ballot. I'll transport my ballot. Sherwin, you want to come back up here on election day and you can grab your ballot and you can take it to your polling place? I would rather do it that way. You have to put, listen to me now, listen. You have to put alarm systems in vehicles because people that have children forget that they have children when it's hot out. So you have to remind a mother who got a C-section and an epidural that she has kids that might be in the back seat of her vehicle that she bought because she has kids. I would rather transport my own ballot. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Now, I'm not like everybody else. Oh, we have a new safety feature where it tells you that you have kids in the back seat of the car in case you forgot that you have kids while you were driving to take your kids to a birthday party, but you forgot there's kids. You walked into the birthday party and just immediately forgot that you had a tough labor and bed rest. Whoever was on line one hung up. They got mad at me, apparently. All right, there's some stuff I wanted to read. Curly Q says, I've been express voting since its beginning. I didn't know that's what it was called. I didn't. They don't offer it to me. I get a paper ballot. And I make it express. I vote quick. I read it through. Flip it over. Sometimes you be missing stuff on the back. Read it before you vote. Read the whole thing. Read the referenda. There's no referenda on this one, but we got some doozies coming up this year. Holy smokes. I'll get to them when I get to them. Linda says, I told you, Sherwin, as an educator, I can tell exceptional IQ. Tales from the flop side says, so how many times are you going to redraw the maps? I got to get in their ass because they're one of these white people talking about racism and that they got a black husband. I feel sorry for your black husband. He made a terrible mistake. If I had a white wife and then she got on a public chat forum on a black talk radio show talking about, oh, I got a black husband, cancel her. Don't do it. I'll cheat. If my white wife is using the fact that she married me to be a despicable, racist bigot, I'm cheating on my white wife with the blackest woman I can find. Dashiki, afro, bone in her nose. I'm going to get as black and African, and I'm going to... Linda said, I got emotionally distracted, but I wanted to share that my voting station has been moved 3 times since I've been voting. I was 2 blocks away at 35th Street School, then Carmen School, now 76 in Mill Road. Will says, remember he said he was fighting for the people of Iran. Now it's night-night. You can't kill them people. They're going to end up killing us. Let's talk to Gary. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you, Gary?
Hey, good, Sherwin. How's it going, man?
Terrible. I didn't get to vote today. They turned me away like I was a newly freed slave.
I'm sure you'll be heading back over. But listen, I want to say, man, I joined your Facebook group, and I enjoy reading that and commenting or putting a like. But I would just want to say, man, listening to you talking, and I've been doing mail-in voting since COVID. I have gone to my polling station a couple times, but I've been doing mostly mail-in voting, man. And I was sitting here the other day thinking, I wonder if my vote is going to be counted. You know, just super nervous about that. And I'm like, I want to start going back and voting in person because I'm really nervous about, like you said, man, with all the stuff going on, how can I ensure that my mail-in ballot is getting counted?
I appreciate your desire to vote on Election Day, but I gotta say, yes, people should be able to vote early and they shouldn't have to worry about it. I am just giving my perspective because when I go vote, I gotta be able to report on irregularities. So when I get on the air, because I always broadcast on election days, and also I want to see my voter number. I want to see my ballot go into that machine. So I have my specific reasons for voting early. But for other people, if you're busy or you're going to be out of the country or whatever, then I would suggest they vote early. I'd rather folks vote early than not vote at all. But Sherwin got to go see what's going on. Like today, by me going in my polling location not being open, I was able to report that. So other folks that might be going to that same place would have a heads up that when I went, it wasn't open. But no, I don't want you to not vote early. But if you want to actually see a ballot go into the machine with your own eyes and get an actual, number that you voter number, then I would suggest you vote on election day.
Right, because like I said, how can I be for sure that my ballot is being counted if I put it in the mail? You know, I'm just a little nervous about that.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gary. All right, then.
All right, take care.
Talk to you later, Gary. What is this here? This is, black voter turnout. According to this information, we don't really vote anyway. Your vote is a community's vote, assuming that communities have things in common. The strength of your vote is your weaponry and your ammunition. And the strength of your vote can be used as a threat to a status quo cohort of elected officials that think they can't ignore you. They need to fear your community's voter turnout. Your vote is such a weapon. You can intimidate entire groups. You can intimidate a whole political party with your vote. Republicans do it. You can scare people into submission with your vote. If you can mobilize your voters, and here's what it's about. You can have the best campaign ever. Who gets the people out on election day? That's the only thing that matters. Who gets the people out on election day? Who gets more people to cast ballots, whether it be early voting, mail-in voting? That's what it's about. How many times have we seen, when we talk about the lesser of two evils, when the most evil one wins because they got their people out? That's what it's about. You can talk all the stuff you want to and say this and say that. You're going to give everybody free money and everybody's going to get all sorts of great things if you get elected. But if your people don't show up, you're not going to win. I got to get back to these YouTube comments because somebody was being slick at the mouth. I guess slick at the keyboard. Linda says, no, it's not Linda. Yeah, it is Linda. The struggle is real out here. The cost of living, the economic, social pressure / oppression. B. Bruce says data centers need humans. There are very few actual human beings in northern Wisconsin or Wyoming or any of them other empty wide western states. Tales from the flop side, who's the bigot, laughed at something and said would never happen. Where's the... B. Bruce says, data don't got jack to do with cloud storage. LOL, that's just a catchphrase. Where do you think all the stuff is stored at? Please don't. Not today. I'm already on edge. Linda says, the visual of Sherwin and Bob in a flight of stairs. You don't want to see that. See, here's the thing about Bob. Somebody said, oh, no, Sherwin, you're threatening a handicapped person. That mouth ain't handicapped. No, I'm not one of those where, because somebody got a little disability, only got one good arm. Well, then you need to have a mouth that reflects the fact that you only got one good arm. He can only throw one punch at a time. So your mouth cannot exceed your physical ability. I thought we learned that in grade school. See, more of y'all needed to get bullied. That's the problem. See, y'all running around here thinking it's sweet. Thinking you can say anything you want. Not where I'm from, you can't. You need to have the assets to cover what your mouth may say. And most of y'all don't. We got a whole 2 generations, if not 3 generations of people that grew up behind a screen and a keyboard. And then you see them in person, what they do, they turn into a big bag of sugar. Some of these younger millennials, these Gen Z and these Gen Alphas, they are so intimidated by real in-person human contact, they can't even look you in the eye. They don't even know how to shake hands. But they can get on the computer and they can just run their mouth. They see somebody in person, they're running the other way. Blake, you're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm blessed, man. I've been better, Sherwin. How you doing, sir?
I've been better, too. They turned me away like I was a slave today. I felt like one of my ancestors.
I've been listening to you all day. You playing that music. You tripped me up. I just moved. So I was off of Sherman and Glendale. Now I'm off of 35th and Wright. So when you don't have a place you can usually vote, you can go down off of Kilbourne, where the building is down there. They won't even let you do that no more.
You got to vote. That's an early voting location at the.
Right. So but see, I don't have it. I just moved off from where I was at. So they told me I got to go to Washington. I just went past Washington. They don't even let nobody in at Washington.
Oh, hang on a second.
They're making it hard on people.
Hang on, Blake. So your polling location now, based on where you live, 35th and Wright, which is Washington High School, which makes sense. Did you go to Washington to try and vote today?
I'm going back down there because when I went down there, they said we're not voting. They're not letting nobody in right now. Classes in session. Okay, I know that.
Hang on a second.
I know classes in session. So like right now, I'm on my way back down there. That was this morning though. This morning, like you say, they didn't have stuff out this morning.
What time did
you go? Moving into about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Around school's out.
And they weren't letting people into Washington High School to vote.
And if they're doing it now, they had to just start. I've been working since 6. I had a break, so I shoot through. And then I just left from over by the house, and there's no line. If they putting signs out, I had to miss it unless there's a different entrance. So I'm going to go down there right now.
Okay, the entrance that you went to, did it have vote here signs, or you just try to walk into school?
I could never do that, dude. You know how dangerous we was when we was kids. No, you know I can read.
Well, I gotta make sure I'm about to levy some really heavy allegations on the election commission if this happened at a separate location.
That's why I'm going to go to Washington High School right now, and whatever happens, I will either film it or call you to let you know what happened with my voting process in the next 20 minutes.
Well, you can't record it, but
no, I ain't gonna. Okay, well I will record it. Well, I'm just gonna let you know what happened. You know what I mean, verbatim. But I ain't gonna record it. But I'm gonna go down there right now. I am leaving City Hall. I'm riding past City Hall. Finna go find me a spot by Washington Park. I'm Washington High School right now because I'm on break. When I get off, I ain't gonna be able to vote.
Where's the entrance to vote at Washington? Is it on Sherman, or do you enter off of one of them side streets?
I've never voted there before because I lived off of Sherman and Glendale forever and for 4 years, and then before that I was down here off of Broadway and Kilbourne. They don't do that no more. So like I said, that's early voting.
Yeah.
So I got to vote today. I'm trying to vote before I get off. When I get off, everything's going to be jammed or closed. So I'm trying to get it done now before my break is over, and I got to be on 170th at 1 o'clock. And you know how traffic changes in 20 minutes. So I'm just trying to get myself in and do my due diligence. I'll be at Washington High School in about 10 minutes, and I'll give you a call back, even if they don't let me on the line.
Yeah, call me back. I'm done here at 11:50. 11:56.
You know how we get down, man.
All right, call me back.
What?
Okay, then. I don't like this. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, no.
I'm a little worried now.
I don't. Hold on. You can't. Class is in session. Really? At Washington High School? There's more teachers there than there is students. Stop it. We can't let nobody in because class is in session? In spring elections, unless it's spring break, schools are open when people go and vote. They didn't let Blake in. There's no way. And I want to believe him. Blake has been calling us for years. I'm going to believe him because I have no reason not to. Come back later, classes and us going and voting has nothing to do with classes being in session. There's usually a totally different entrance, a separate entrance where the voters come in and they cast their ballot. Oh, I need this. Oh, why don't we do this now? Should we give away the Gruber money? I'm trying to make somebody happy because I'm very upset. Let's do it. Got to play it.
One call, that's all.
Truth Nation, now is your chance to be our one call, that's all. $5,000 giveaway entry for the day. That's right, we'll enter you to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. We'll take call number 7. Today, call number 7 actually does win something. You win a chance to win $5,000. Caller number 7 at 833-212-1017. Caller number 7 at 833-212-1017. You'll be entered to win $5,000, courtesy of the award-winning 1017 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices. Call number 7 at 833-212-1017. Remember, if you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices today. Visit them at gruber-law.com. For official contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com. Call number 7 gets... They're not letting us vote. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's that time again for the Tory Low Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we come together to clean up the city of Milwaukee. Be part of making a difference in our community. The Tory Low Community Cleanup, Saturday, April 18th, 8 to noon. Sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, Waste Management, and presented by the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District, your clean water partner, serving Greater Milwaukee for 100 years.
As the White House threatens to take over state elections, restrict abortion nationwide, and take away our health care, the Wisconsin Supreme Court is the last line of defense for our rights. That's why the Supreme Court election on April 7th is so critical. The ACLU does not endorse or oppose candidates, but wants you to make an informed decision. When it comes to abortion rights, Maria Lazar supported overturning Roe v. Wade and is endorsed by groups that want to ban abortion. Chris Taylor voted against abortion bans and defended abortion rights while working with Planned Parenthood. And on the issue of voting rights in Wisconsin, Maria Lazar defended efforts to rig elections for one political party through extreme gerrymandering of congressional and legislative districts. Chris Taylor opposes rigging the system with extreme partisan gerrymandering. On April 7th, stand up for our rights. Paid for by American Civil Liberties Union, Incorporated.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Literally one call, that's all. I made one call and that's all, worry-free.
One call, that's all. It worked.
Just one call and that's all.
They will do what they say they're going to do. One call and that's all.
One call, that's all means security.
It's literally one call, that's all.
It's a phrase we'll never forget.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th at Franklin Field, featuring live performances by Shaggy, Rick Ross, Genuine, Soulja Boy, Frankie J, Mims, and more. There will be craft margaritas, Milwaukee's best taco vendors, authentic lucha libre wrestling, an exotic car showcase, a Chihuahua beauty pageant, art installations, and so much more. Tacos and Tequila Festival, Saturday, May 30th. Get your tickets at tacoandtequilafestival.com.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Today we're not overcoming anything. We gotta wait to hear from Blake. Went to go vote at Washington High School, and they told him he had to come back because class was in session. What? Trump is just Anybody else have any problems? Let's put it all out here so we can make sure that we get them all rectified, because the next election we have is a gubernatorial primary where you got, right now, 7 people in the race. It'll be less than that soon. I'd imagine after today, once the state Supreme Court race is behind us, if people can even vote, then some of the gubernatorial candidates will start making themselves a little bit more known. For some of them, it is too little, too late. They wasted valuable time in trying to define themselves or differentiate themselves from the other 6 candidates that are running in that race. And I can't feel sorry for you if you have not taken every waking moment of this campaign. Wisconsin is a big state. It's empty mostly, but it's geographically it's big. If you've driven throughout the state, it takes hours to get places. Now, there's nothing in between. What is Wisconsin? What do we got? We got Green Bay, Milwaukee, Madison, Kenosha. There's no county that's north of Kenosha, basically, just space. Appleton, Neenah, Menasha, Oshkosh, Eau Claire, La Crosse, and Toma, Minocqua. That's it. Nothing. The rest of it doesn't. Rice Lake, Spooner. The rest of it doesn't count. Door County, Egg Harbor, Sister Bay, Fish Creek. That's all there is. There's nothing more. Crandon. Where did the dude kill the lady? That doesn't narrow it down. Stephen Avery, Manitowoc. You got then the Two Rivers, Manitowoc area. It's actually very pretty up there. But other than that, that's all Wisconsin is. The Fox Valley, us, Madison, La Crosse, Eau Claire, some stuff up north. Wausau. That's it. So it's big though, and you got to go to all those places because that's where the votes are at for the most part. The other places, they don't count. They're not important. And if you have not, Milwaukee's where you need to start, because if you don't do well in Milwaukee, why would you not want to do well here? I'm disappointed that there are candidates that are from Milwaukee and have an affinity for Milwaukee that aren't, because we may know how you are in your current capacity, or maybe if you had a different capacity, we may be familiar with that. We don't know how you're going to be to the people of Milwaukee if you're governor, because our needs and requirements from the executive branch of state government are different. We pay all the money. More property taxes, more income taxes, more sales taxes come from Milwaukee. We're the breadwinner. We're daddy. You understand me? If you are not from Milwaukee, let's say you're from Germantown, which apparently is a town full of Germans. And if somebody from Milwaukee asks you to do something, okay, it might be move your car, it might be whatever. If someone from Milwaukee asks you to do something, this goes for all people that are not from Milwaukee. I'm trying to help you. There's new etiquette because I'm making up new rules. Because if I can't vote, then I'm going to make up new rules for people. This is what happens when you deny me the vote. If you're not from Milwaukee and you ask someone from Milwaukee to do something, first and foremost, do it. And then repeat after me. Yes, Daddy. Because we're from Milwaukee. We're your daddy. I'm not laughing. There's nobody said anything humorous. I don't think, ain't nothing sweet today. In fact, I haven't really laughed all show. I'm a little disappointed because usually I'm ha ha ha, jokey, tell jokes, make everybody giggle. I'm hot today. Blake couldn't vote. I couldn't vote today. Linda got a ticket. Well, that actually was funny because she got a ticket in front of her own house. Can't blame anybody but yourself for that. Tales from the flop side. I really wish I could blow her picture up.
What does she look like?
I'm trying.
I'll do some work on my end.
Because the picture that I'm seeing, this can't be real. Black men, listen to me real good. If you're going to marry a white woman, don't marry a white woman that nobody wants. Don't. But love is love. Nah, not really. Love is conditional. It is Tales from the Flop Side is what their YouTube name is. Which, and it's probably a fake person. Don't make us look bad as black men. We get bad PR, but come on, fellas. I've seen some of your choices. There's so much I could say right now. I'm clearly on one today. You know who else is on one? Trump. Trump threatens, quote, whole civilization will die tonight ahead of the Iran deadline. President Trump threatened the death of an entire civilization in a Tuesday morning post on Truth Social, the latest violent warning for the Iranian regime ahead of the 8 p.m. deadline for reopening the Strait of Hormuz. He should be removed from office. He threatened genocide. And because he's the president of the United States and he has this thing called the football, you guys know what the football is? It's the briefcase that is always with the president. You always see the person. If you get a wide enough shot of wherever the president is, there's someone with a briefcase chained to their wrist. Those are the nuclear codes where they have to verify the president's identity before he can launch a nuclear war. Trump can't threaten to do this kind of stuff and still remain president of the United States, or at least the country that I want to live in. And no, I'm not moving. Oh, Sherwin, if you don't like it, move. Screw you. You move. Move me. Tuesday night might be, quote, one of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world, he wrote. He goes on to say, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again, he wrote. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. Yeah, I do want to see the photo, Xavier. Where are you going to put it on the YouTube? Is it even a woman? All right. Let me know when it's up. I want to see it because I can't really see because the thumbnail is little. All right, hang on. Let me hit refresh. All right. Hitting refresh. Oh, great. The YouTube poll just came back up, oh, good God. Oh, no. Oh, I know better. Oh, good. I got to take a commercial break.
Is that too much for you?
I need oxygen. God bless America. Leave it up. Leave it up. Just because I feel like I'm going to get in trouble today. 6 ways from Sunday. I know it. It's about time I get in trouble. I'm due.
Why do you think you're going to get in trouble for?
Because being me.
You haven't said anything bad today.
Yes, I have. It's not about whether I or you think I said anything bad. It's just about somebody out there in the universe being slightly butthurt.
I've heard way worse things on the show.
On this show?
Yeah, we've had explicit. The owl calls alone. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, one day I found out new words you can actually say on the radio because of him. He's actually kind of a cutting edge pioneer. Like he provided a list of sexually explicit profanities that actually are permitted by the FCC. I didn't know. Am I going to use those words? Maybe in a spelling bee, but other than that, I don't think.
You should have him as a guest on the show one day. Just,
No.
No?
I can't, because I think he'd be a decent guest, but what are we going to talk to him about? The longer he talks, the more profane it would get. And then the other thing we'd have to deal with is if Al was in studio, some of our viewers, they would get very profane too. Al just turns people into freaks.
Yeah, I can see that. Every time he calls in, except for today, it turns into like sex talk with Sherwin Hughes.
When we have events, there's a line of people to meet him. Half the line is other men, so take that with a grain of salt.
Well, I thought you said he goes both ways.
I don't know. He's remarked on sugar men and sugar women. But maybe it's just for the sugar. I don't know it's none of my business. I don't care what people do.
I guess it could be for entertainment purposes.
If somebody wants to do stuff, just make sure they're adults. And I don't care what you do. Some of y'all like maple syrup and chocolate. Some of y'all do freak. Some of y'all like feet. I can't. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are you planning a special event? Do you need a personal chef? Either way, make it tasteful. I'm Alicia the Chef, owner of Tasteful Events Catering, and we create customized food experiences for any occasion. We bring quality, flavor, and professionalism to every table. Whether it's a special event or everyday meal solutions, we focus on delivering more than just food. We create experiences. Book today or learn more online at www.tastefuleventscatering.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Zauner, Marine Corps veteran and board member for the Center for Veterans Issues, calling on the community to tee it up for a great cause. On Monday, June 15th, CVI is hosting its 5th annual golf outing at the River Club in Mequon. This year's event is supporting CVI's Permanent Supportive Housing Program, dedicated to assisting chronically homeless or disabled veterans and their families. Grab your clubs and support our veterans today. Register to golf, sponsor, or donate at cvivet.org/events.
Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
So altogether, you're looking at $1,780 for your mortgage and for your property taxes in a year. And that's before you have to deal with, obviously, your water bill and electric bill. That's a steep price that people have to pay. And based off those numbers I just ran, to afford a home like that, you got to make $65,000 a year. But the problem is, here in Milwaukee, the median household income is only $54,234. That's out of whack. So again, I am all about affordability. I'm all about people getting homes. But what we have to understand is that until homes are more affordable, you can have a supply and demand problem. But the problem that we have here in the city of Milwaukee is that these prices, when people are listing these houses, they're listing them for prices that people really can't afford. And even if you do get the house and you're paying that, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is not about living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is about finding something that fits within your budget and building equity for the future.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Truth app.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Three 212-1017. Somebody who texted me this? Marquis said, so since the world is about to end, should I leave my job now or what? I mean, if you want to. You're going to quit in grand fashion. No, don't quit your job. Don't, because you never know. Trump might say, I'm just playing. And next thing you know, you told your boss to kiss your ass, Marquise, and then your boss says, I'm not going to hire you back, so don't quit your job yet. Ed. Ed said, a Democrat from Milwaukee will never get elected governor. Rest of the state does not trust them. So we had somebody from Milwaukee get elected lieutenant governor. Ed, I know that does not meet the premise of your statement. So Marty Schreiber was lieutenant governor when Pat Lucey became the ambassador to Mexico. Marty Schreiber, if I'm not mistaken, lost in a primary, but we've had a governor from Milwaukee. But have we had an elected governor from Milwaukee? We have not. We have had a Secretary of State from Milwaukee. Her name was Velvalia Phillips. You know her as Vel Phillips or 4th Street. She got elected Secretary of State in 1982. But yes, statistically speaking, we have not had a Milwaukee governor. We have a chance now. We got at least three. David Crowley, Mandela Barnes, and Joel Brennan. They are 3 of the 7 individuals that are running in the Democratic primary for governor. We talked to Francesca Hong. She's the communist. She's from Madison.
Why do you keep calling her a communist? She's not a communist.
She doesn't believe in communal ownership of private property? Of course she does. Most people don't know the difference between communism and socialism anyway. It's public ownership of private property and utilities and fair wages and free health care and tax subsidized stuff. I don't like their stance on the parental choice program. And whenever you have candidates from Madison that are super liberal, because I don't believe they use the parental choice program. They may have charter schools in Madison, but I don't know if they have parental choice schools in Madison. And so people from Madison who think that they are better and do better and know better than Milwaukee, they don't. They're our little sibling that got a bunch of education. Now they think that they're head of the family. They're not. They want to do away with a program where there are 30,000 Milwaukee children attending those schools that they otherwise would not be able to attend because they can't afford the tuition. So here's what people got to understand about school integration. White people never, ever, 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 ever wanted black children in their schools because if they wanted it, it would have happened a long time ago. So what they do is they will create private schools. Where do you think private schools came from? Private schools say, we're not going to take any public money, but we want to admit in our schools who we want. Now, you can give us less money, you can give us no money at all, but we want to have control over who gets admitted into our schools. And if you want to come to our school, a private school, you got to meet these requirements and you got to pay tuition. We know that African Americans, you can go look this up, we make less money, have less assets, have less retirement, and have less equity. So if there's tuition levied on a school, it keeps poor black children out without saying no blacks allowed. The reason why they are against the school choice program is the reason why we have the existence of private schools is to resegregate the races of the children. And so when you hear a liberal saying, oh, I hate the voucher program, I hate it, they are listening to what their parents and grandparents told them. We don't want our children going to school with black kids. There's no righteousness in that. This is a Milwaukee program that addresses an education need that we have in our city. How many times do y'all need to see the data, the facts, and the statistics about how poor Milwaukee children are performing? Are private schools the answer? I don't know, but I know a lot of white folks went to private schools and they're doing A-okay. You know a guy named Chris Larson, state senator of the 7th District, went to St. Thomas More. Wants to end the voucher program. You guys ever heard of a fellow named, I don't know, you probably never heard of him. Mandela Barnes went to a voucher school from kindergarten through 8th grade. He had every single opportunity he had in the legislature, voted against their funding. You guys know a lady by the name, maybe you don't know her, State Senator LaTanya Johnson, who admitted on my show in public, on the record, that if it wasn't for the parental choice program, her daughter would not have been able to go to Pius High School because she, on a legislative salary, couldn't afford it. Her daughter is now a college graduated from University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Went to a private school on a parental choice program. There's a racial component to it. Yet LaTanya Johnson, of course, she was against the voucher program because, it's not fair. But admitted that it was her child's pathway to getting higher education. And so the place in which I disagree with the far left, I disagree with the far lefties on a bunch of stuff, but don't mess with the education of black children. Educational options are pretty much all we have. Now, here's the thing. It still isn't a guarantee. It's not a promise you're going to be successful. But wanting to take it away and forcing children to have to go into schools that their parents opted out of is oppression, and it's racial oppression, and I don't stand for it. Now, I was very nice to Francesca because I was just getting to know her. Now, I talked to her offline. I said, look, we got to have a discussion about education. She agreed to come back and have a discussion specifically on education. We'll have that conversation. But just know where I stand, because black people don't have the luxury to be misinformed. White people do. White people can be very dumb and still do quite well in our society. Don't believe me? I know somebody that got elected president twice and got dumber the second time and won by more votes. So that's not a luxury that we can afford. They can afford that. We can't. And so I want us to have all the educational options that the courts and state laws afford to us. And because there's a cohort of people that don't want black children in private schools and maintain tuition so that poor families can't send their kids to those schools, then I'm against you. And I will clarify and back up and give fact and data and statistics as to why I'm against you. But at the end of the day, I'm against you because you're a racist. I don't like them people. Mostly because they don't like me. Because a racist that regrets, repents, and rewards black people, well, then maybe we can go bowling. But until then, no, I don't like you. Blake, I need you to call me now, Blake. My show getting ready my shift is almost over, brother. I need to know if anybody try to go vote at Washington High School and were you turned away because class was in session, please call me. I'm done here in 12 minutes and 46 seconds. I'm going to take a break, come back, and I'll probably just be angry about more stuff. Maybe I'll yell at We Energies. Oh, Brenda Caselius' people got back to me. Not with a date. They're telling me what they want to talk about, which is fine. But we're going to get the superintendent of MPS on the show at some point. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform, and on my show, our community always has a voice. There is no topic that is off limits, and I always give you my authentic opinions on how I feel, because keeping it real is the only way I know how to get down. Listen to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home. Join me every Friday at 11 a.m. for the Milwaukee Experience with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. We're a city that knows how to celebrate, where the calendar is packed with festivals, the plates are piled high with flavor, and a lakefront sunrise sets the stage. Here in Milwaukee, every street leads to something worth savoring, a place that welcomes you with open arms and where joy is shared in bites, beats, and cheers. The Milwaukee Experience every Friday at 11 a.m. exclusively on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
Still think you're going to use those old chemicals just sitting around under the sink, in the garage, or down in the basement? So don't let them sit there. Get rid of them right away. To MMSD's Home Hazmat Drop-Off Centers. It's safe, it's easy, and it's open to all Milwaukee County residents. There are 3 locations open year-round. The Tory Low Community Cleanup is happening April 18th, and with a mobile drop-off to help you clear out that waste. Visit us at MLK Elementary School at 3275 North 3rd Street from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Let's clean up Milwaukee.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Posters on the pole, faces on the screen, promises in bold print, selling every dream. Lines round the corner, grandma in a chair, teenager, first time a bus stick in the air. Campaign vans crawling, flags in the rain. Everybody arguing like the trophies in the frame. Power at the doorstep, you can feel it in your chest. Whole block charged up, ain't nobody trying to rest. This the kind of vote, make the block stand tall. Pistols in the air like we right.
Today is election day, but I couldn't vote because my polling location wasn't open, and Blake called, and he tried to vote at Washington High School. He was turned away because class was in session. I spoke with the mayor already today, my alderwoman, Charlene Moore. They assured me everything was all right. I got to rearrange my schedule so I can go vote. I got to go immediately following the show. I got stuff I got to do today. I have an itinerary. I plan to vote early on election day at 7 a.m., but I couldn't, so I got to rearrange. I got to tell somebody I got a meeting. I got to tell them, sorry, meeting person, shut up. You got to wait because I need to vote, and then they're going to be mad at me. It's a ripple effect. Waiting on Blake ain't going to call us back. Well, I'm assuming that Blake was able to vote then. Because if there was some irregularities, he would have called back very angry. Because Blake gets angry. Anybody else have any problems? If so, let us know. Baseline overall turnout context, midterm elections, modern average 48 to 52% turnout. And that's November. Presidential elections averages between 60 and 67% of eligible voters. Turnout by race. Turnout rate by race, white, non-Hispanic, 70%. Black or African American, 63 to 65%. Why is that? Somebody's calling. Is that Blake? That's Blake. All right, Blake on line one. All right, Blake, what happened now? Blake, your phone is breaking up. You must be in the school. You got to go to where your phone gets a better signal. He did vote. Okay. But his phone isn't working. So, Blake, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah, okay. Much better. So what happened?
Okay, my fault. No, that was my limo service. I got into Washington and I voted. But what it was, they got the sign in the wrong spot. They got it on top of the hill. On top of the steps. They don't have it down on the curb. And this morning, the snotty secretary was in. So everything's all good at Washington. I voted. Go vote. Go vote. Go vote. You funny, Sherwin.
Thank you. I'm glad you voted. That makes one of us.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome, family.
Don't do that. So what? The sign was at the top of the hill. What? Okay. Why don't we do this? So we have another election in August. Everybody get your lives together. You have, how many months is that? This April is the 4th month. August is the 8th. That's 4 months from now. Okay? It's going to be in the middle of the summer times. Right now it's early springtime. It's kind of the end of the summer. I need everybody to find out where they vote. Go to myvote.wi.gov. If you have any polling location changes, they're going to tell you at myvote.wi.gov. You can find out if you're currently registered. If you live at one address and you move, you got to update your information now. You got to do that. If you move, you got to update your driver's license and your identification. You can do that. Some of you are going to move. Some of you are planning on moving. That's fine. You can move. I don't blame you for moving because you're moving out of a Barada property and you're buying your own house from Axe Housing. Go see the folks over at Axe Housing. That is actshousing.org. They can get you on your path to home ownership. And so when you purchase your home with the assistance of Axe Housing, you're going to need to update your information. There's nothing wrong with it. This is perfectly fine. You just got to have your information updated. And then you're going to have a new polling location, most likely, assuming that you move from one voting district to another. You might even have new elected officials when you move into your house from Axe Housing, actshousing.org. Okay? You're going to register. You're going to vote. And we're going to do this whole thing again because when I go and vote in August, I'm going to bring Black Panthers with me. If there even are any anymore, I'm going to bring a militia. Bunch of African-American people with stern looks on their faces. Oh, let's talk to this person. Just put them through. Oh, they hung up. I think it was Kathy. Kathy, call back. I only got 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. Hurry up. Got to make sure everything is okay. Because if it's a problem, Kathy, if it's the Kathy that I'm thinking of, she will alert us. Asians, 58 to 60% turnout. Hispanics or Latinos in midterm elections, 50 to 53% turnout. Multiracial people have... What is happening? Multiracial people have the lowest voter turnout of 45%. Whites consistently have higher voter turnout. Blacks are typically the second highest, sometimes near parity, like in 2008 and 2012. What else does it say? Midterm elections, more relevant. 52 to 55% white turnout, 44 to 48% African-American turnout, Asians 40 to 45%, Hispanics 35 to 40%, multiracial 30%. Come on, multiracials. Pick a side and then go vote. If you're black and white biracial, then vote like the white side. It's higher turnout. Was that racist? No?
No.
All right. I'm just saying. Don't vote like the low turnout race. Black turnout drops more sharply than white turnout in midterm elections. The black-white turnout gap widens to 10 percentage points. Hispanic and multiracial turnout gaps widen even further. Black turnout did not keep pace with 2018 levels in many states. Long-term research shows, quote, a growing racial turnout gap favoring the white voters. Local elections has the lowest voter turnout environment in America. Even the whites are only voting at a 30 to 45% in local elections. Black, 25 to 40%. Hispanic, 15 to 30%. Asians, 20 to 35%. Multiracial, less than 15%. Listen here, multiracials, I'm going to be on ya. Turnout is lowest overall, but racial disparities persist. Black turnout can remain relatively competitive in majority black cities, but drops in mixed or suburban contexts. Exit poll insights, participation plus composition. Exit polls don't directly measure turnout rates. They measure the share of voters, but they confirm participation patterns. Black voters typically make up 10 to 13% of the electorate nationwide. White voters, 65 to 75%. Hispanic voters, 10 to 15. Asian voters, 3 to 5. They don't even list the multiracials. This reflects both population size and turnout disparities. Urban black voters have stronger mobilization due to dense political networks, churches, and civic organizations like Souls to the Polls. Targeted campaign outreach in major cities like Atlanta, Detroit. Ooh, look, Milwaukee is listed. Black turnout can approach or exceed white turnout in presidential elections. Rural black voters have lower turnout rates because reduced access to polling locations, transportation, less campaign contact, and higher rates of poverty and mobility barriers. Go vote, everybody! I got to go try to vote again. I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow. Goodbye.
Come in with straight truth.
If you acted up, if you were out here doing any kind of foolishness,